And then we're going to be back with you guys on Friday. I will only be here in the morning for Friday at the big desk, but it will be OB on with your boy Joseph on the midday. I'm going to take the day off, weaseling over to Calgary. Going to fly out at 4, so pumped about that. And we'll see everybody on Monday, but I will join Adara momentarily there at the big desk as we cover your Jerome and company with the FOMC obviously coming into play. It is now 150.25.
150.25.
So we got 25 cents in the bank. It's been real, guys. Good trading day for your boy and your boy Joseph as well. Send him off, Joey.
Yeah, I mean, guys, we're heading into a short holiday here, and then it's the end of the week. Make sure you keep those risk measures in place. Be careful of the volatility spike that we're going to probably experience here at 2 o'clock.
Welcome, everybody. The volatility spike has already happened, and I'm going to guess that there's been maybe we got more volatility up and down than we're going to see here with the no change on the Fed. We'll see. All things can change. You had some headlines, big headlines throughout the middle of the day. If you're looking for something that's bullish, it's probably in the crypto space. It's probably Coinbase. Robinhood looking very good. The stablecoin news. Circle was super strong in here today. You got the payment names getting absolutely destroyed. We had PayPal. Block was getting crushed as well. There was news on Uber negatively with Waymo taking them to the downside. So there's individual things moving on their own news. But let's be real. In about 8 minutes, we're going to get no change from the Fed on interest rates. At 2:30, hopefully we'll get some idea from Chairman Powell as to, well, and maybe we'll see something in the dot plot to give us indication what the rest of the year looks like. They'll probably talk a little bit about the economy and effects of tariffs and all this kind of good stuff. They'll get a bunch of questions about policy and at the, well, U.S. administration's policy, and there's really not much he can say about that. He'll just probably say, we're monitoring it. I expect we're going to hear monitoring half a dozen times from Chairman Powell today, monitoring this and monitoring that.
Yeah, we're monitoring trades over here. We held, I mean, welcome back, guys. If you, I hope you guys enjoyed the midday show. We have that same Apple trade, and this is just, it really makes, you know, when we write down levels and they hold and they work and we make money off them, like this is what trading is. We put on another trade here with AMD as well. Boom, goes a dynamite right there. So we've been short. I'm going to hold this short into the next little while. We only have on this trade, I have about 20% left and about 20% or maybe a little bit less than that on the Apple trade. So let's roll the dice here and see what's going on. We are now 7 minutes away from a zero change announcement, and then we'll get to hear from Chairman Powell at 2:30, and that should be somewhat exciting. But yeah, man, we're back. We're ready to rock and roll. Let's go see what Adair has to say.
News on 2 different stocks here. The first is Gilead receiving FDA approval for Yez2Go. That is their first and the first and only twice yearly injectable for the prevention of HIV. So GILD with an HIV prevention treatment pushing to the upside. Then there's FCLE. This is Fuel Cell announcing that they've partnered up with SMR here, or New Scale Power. So keep an eye on FCEL, SMR, and GILD as we send you back to the guys ahead of the Fed decision.
FCEL partnering with SMR is good for FCEL. I don't know what it does for SMR. SMR is probably not moving on that. Gilead is probably going to stay away from something. Like I said, we have 5 or 6 minutes in here to go. The usual plan of action, I don't think I want to stray too far away from it here. If we're looking at the Qs, that initial, I'm expecting some rubber band action. When we talked about volatility, look, we just had a breakdown. You had more headlines. We just had a breakdown, then you get to the lows, and then all the way back into VWAP on the Nasdaq, right into the morning lows, and all the way back up to the top. So we've seen some volatility. It gives you an obvious level. If we dump initially on the no change, maybe there's something that causes the sell off. Look for support, and if you find a strong stock, something that has been strong, like one of the payment names, well, not one of the payment names to me, like a Coinbase would stand in there, or Robinhood. Nvidia has been relatively strong at holding VWAP, and the futures bounce. I'm looking to one of the strong ones. Nvidia, like if you just look at the difference, and one of the reasons why I'm looking at Nvidia, if the market is strong, is AMD breaking down, Nvidia going in the other direction. Yesterday, AMD was a strong one. Today, Nvidia looking a little bit better. So as long as this can hold on to the pre-market highs, I'd like some dips. And if the Nasdaq holds and this breaks, I just go back and look at the next significant level on my 3-minute chart for NVIDIA. But I'm pretty bullish on that name. I'm only in a trend break on Intel and still holding ACB from this morning. That's the same trade from the morning. But just a trend break here on Intel. I can see myself not wanting to reload this one. It's strong like NVIDIA is. So just a simple trend break back into VWAP. I'm holding on the last 10% for a break-even stop. But yeah, the market comes all the way back, as we've seen happen with geopolitical news before. But in 4 minutes, it's going to have another reason to move.
Okay, yeah, we're just gonna sit and be patient. Obviously, I don't expect too much movement here in the equity market, but you know, we could wait to see what's been happening and have a quick look at gold right here. Thank you for joining us. Gold pretty flat heading into this move. You can see relatively no change. And again, like here's the CME Fed rate 2.0. CME Fed rate 2.0. Not to like, you know, throw any cold water on this or anything like that. I mean, I think most of you watching will know what's good right now. You can see there it is, 99.9% chance right now of no cut whatsoever. So let's pretend like there is a 0.1% chance of a cut. Well, if they cut, then I think this market really rips and we go absolutely to all-time highs. So we'll wait to see if that's what winds up happening here today or not. Bitcoin 104.5. Not doing much either. XLE and some of the oil plays today flat, so not much going on over there. Yeah, so that's like, if there's some kind of a chance that we make these highs, then that's where we'll wind up going. But yeah, interesting today on stable coins. You've seen PayPal get to the downside there as well. Tomorrow we're going to the Minecraft experience. I was telling that to Neil. That should be a lot of fun there tomorrow.
Get it, Minecraft.
Get it, Minecraft.
Steve.
And yeah, we'll see if anybody's chicken jockeying. We're gonna see if there's.
Yeah.
We went to Dungeons and Dragons experience. That was pretty fun. So
Eat some lava chicken.
We'll see what. Yeah, is that what it is? That's at McDonald's, right? Yeah, chicken jockey. That's what I said. Yeah. The good thing about it is we went to the Minecraft on its opening day, basically on the Thursday.
Smart.
We didn't have any crazy ass people in the crowd doing stuff like TikTok related.
I was all for it, except for it's a time of day. If it's in the evening at nighttime when it's only teenagers, have at it, man. But if you do it in the mid when there's like a lot of 7, 8, 9-year-olds there, come on, man.
Yeah. My daughter wants to go get some Chick-fil-A, so apparently that's in Square One. So we'll be doing the Minecraft run and then a Chick-fil-A run there tomorrow. So yeah, sandwiches.
That'll work.
Are my favorite food group.
That'll work.
Chicken sandwich, you know. But circle up 21% right now. I mean, circle the wagon if you're long. It's wow. Huge move up right there, continuing higher. It's too bad because I had circle. I was gonna put it on the sticky note, and then I was just looking at it, and I was like, I couldn't really find a trade. Like when we were opening up down here, for some reason, I was like, we're not going to get to 165 or anything. But yeah, that was a hero long right there. So that was a good one. But instead, we have 1:30 left right now. We'll be going over there. Okay, Sharif and Nader over there, so that's fine, that's good. Right now, AMD, we talked about that short. That was huge. We put this on for you guys in the midday. And Apple trade is still that same one that we had written about on our sticky note. So I just wanted to say, like, follow your plans, man, and make sure that you do stick with them because this is what can wind up happening, you know, making money. All right, let's go back over to the desk and we'll get this number.
Yeah, we're just waiting here for the FOMC rate decision. We are expecting, as mentioned, no change here, so 4.25% to 4.5%, likely to stay in place. But we're also getting the summary of economic projections, or the dot plot. That's going to be on watch here, all of that coming out in 40 seconds. We're going to give you guys the number. We're going to take a minute here to go over the summary of economic projections and the rate statement, and then give it to you guys. Then about half an hour later at 2:30 p.m., we're going to have the FOMC press conference with Fed Chair Powell. It's a pretty interesting time here, Sharif. We know he's gotten a lot of pressure lately from Donald Trump.
Yeah, and the idea here too is, Adair, is that the economic numbers have been quite good.
Yes.
So, you know, if you're trying to make the case for him to cut rates, it's been really hard. In addition to that, we've got the tariff inflation that we still haven't realized. So he's probably got that in the back of his mind as well.
Yes, and we have some analysts expecting we're going to get those impacts as early as the next PCE print in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to be getting this FOMC decision. I'm just waiting for it to populate over here for me because it has not yet, and we'll find out if we do in fact get a hold. And it looks like, I'm still waiting here, apologies, on my end for this number to populate, hold. So 4.5% as expected, 3.6% here, higher than expected for the 1 year rate projection. So that, or higher than the previous negative 3.4%. Second year, also higher than the previous print. We're going to wait here for that summary of economic projections and the dot plot as we send you back to the guys.
So pretty much as expected. Look, we expected nothing. At the end of the day, it matters more what happens at 2:30. Everybody, and Powell's going to hit the podium. We always talk about rubber band action. Initial move to the upside. If it had been dipped by, which I was kind of anticipating, I wanted Nvidia. If it's going to be fades, then I'm looking at a relatively weak name in here on AMD. It's right back into VWAP. It's the only time I traded today. 128. We're going to try and grab this one if we can get it. As what's up? What's up?
No, it's just nothing. No, nothing's happening. It's just I was only saying that
More
because
volatility.
I'm looking at Apple and AMD, and then it's like you're looking at AMD, so it's like trying to find some different names here.
Just one note. Tesla is breaking back out. 325 was a big level. I did trade Tesla off 325 earlier. 325 is a big level. That said, as you go into resistance, you're like, well, maybe short 325. And this could work. If you heard me all morning, I'm like, I'm shorting 325. But I feel distinctly different about it now because it's traveled $5 above, $5 below, and I don't think that level matters. So I want something going into the volume weighted average price or pulling back into it. Nvidia is going through the... Nope, check that. Nvidia is going into the high of the day, so this could provide something if we do head back down in for a dip. But as I said, I do like AMD because of its relative weakness. And for everyone looking at, it just did not affect Coinbase whatsoever. It's doing its own kind of jam. Small move up, when the stock's up $42, a dollar move doesn't even phase it, Adara.
Just a little more context here on this FOMC decision and statement. So again, they held rates steady. They're projecting slower growth in 2025 and higher inflation. So they're projecting a GDP here of 1.4%. That is lower than the previous expectation for 2025. They've also lifted their inflation expectation here to 3%. And yeah, they're saying their uncertainty about the economic outlook has diminished, but it does remain a little bit elevated here. So we're going to talk about that here.
Yeah, we want to talk about the dot plot here, guys, because we did get the dot plot. So you have 7 Fed members who see us not cutting at all this year. 2 Fed members with 1 cut, 8 with 2 cuts, and 2 with 3 cuts by the end of 2025. Let's see how this ends up doing.
All right, tanking. We're doing well again here, man. Apple, what the hell? $1.12 right now in the money, and we've been shorting that one, so we'll get to more covers there. We took a little bit out, more out now as Apple trying to get right back into those lows one more time. So good move back into the downside, and this is what we're doing right now. So yeah, it's a good move back in for Apple. And AMD also nice move back. We might also take a piece out right here as well at 67, spot 67 there if we can grab it. There it is, we get it. So nice move there on Apple as well. Look, man, I mean, if we go, we can talk about it. There was little change now in the outlook moving forward. We just saw that 71% chance now for a rate cut in September. Used to be 60%. So just hearing in my ear now, 70% chance of a rate cut in September. Used to be 57. So up a couple points there, up 13% upside on that potential rate cut. So if there is a rate cut coming, that's good. The odds have gotten increased. But I don't know, Jerome Powell, I don't know if you like your job or not right now, but the smartest man in the room apparently isn't you. And Donald Trump was asking, well, this is according to Donald Trump, he's the smartest man in the room.
He said it.
And he said that Donald Powell was not that smart and he should be cutting rates 2.5 basis points, not 0.25. He wants it down 2 points. So I don't, you know, Powell thinks, and it's not just Powell, this is a vote, you know, that they have. And right now, you know, the FOMC has decided to keep rates right where they are and probably won't be moving those until September now. So apparently it's a dovish lean from the committee, dovish lean. So I lean back right now because we are now $1.40 in the money with our Apple trade, and there it goes to the downside. So let's just keep on taking some out here. As we say, man, you know, we were talking about some of us there, some of my friends, whatever, we're talking about dream jobs and things like that. The fact that we can trade, do this, have fun with you guys, I'm kind of living mine right now. What's up with Adara?
Just be aware here as well. There's some more data coming in. So I guess apparently, in addition to what Sean mentioned here, now we have the CME Fed Watcher, the rate futures pricing in a 71% chance of a Fed cut in September. It's also interesting, for the year, apparently these futures are pricing in or factoring in a 46 basis point rate cut. So that's actually below the 50 basis points we were looking for. It's also worth noting, as mentioned, the Fed actually lowered its GDP projections for the year, but they raised their PCE projections for the year, so not a great look, from 2.7% in March to 3% now, Sharif.
Sorry, I wasn't able to absorb all that. I was just kind of fumbling here. Let's send it back to the boys, and then we'll come back.
Yeah. So obviously, look, the market's coming back in. That's what you need to absorb. NVIDIA is going to lose the bid here. Tesla did break at that 325. I jumped into, look, PayPal had its own news. I might have shorted this one if there was no news on this kind of a setup anyways. So just look at the 3-minute. These are the prior highs, consolidation underneath. Actually try to get some a little bit higher, but this is not a VWAP trade. This is you're trending in one direction, and if you're going to join the market, then we like it. But the market is certainly heading to the downside precipitously here. If you got them, hold them. And if we don't get any change in the sentiment overall until 2:30, I don't see any reason to jump in anything long. I do note that NVIDIA continues to bounce here off of VWAP. I don't like being against the grain, and for now we're headed to the downside, so until we see something bullish, I don't want to jump into a long trade. That said, NVIDIA still sits on the cusp as one of the few names which is holding up. Only a couple of trades in NVIDIA for me, failed breakout and then a trend break, so I'm kind of flat on the stock, but we're going to go back to Adara. Looking over, nothing going crazy. We're kind of still doing the same range, but we are trending down again, Adara.
I just want to mention here, this is the rate statement. It's worth noting there is very little change. The biggest change, which I mentioned earlier, has to do with the level of uncertainty. So during the March meeting, the May meeting, the statement said here that uncertainty about the economic outlook has increased further. Now it says that this uncertainty is actually diminished, but it does remain elevated. Other than that, they just kind of, I guess, erased the fact that they believe the risks of higher unemployment and higher inflation have risen. So it seems like they feel like uncertainty and these risks have gone down a little bit. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. Not much change here in this statement. The biggest thing here seems to be the fact that they're now pricing in not only expecting lower GDP this year, but also higher PCE. Not a great look necessarily. Back to you.
A weird point of strength right now would be the Russell. A little surprised with a little bit of a bearish move that we had, that the Russell, while running the high, and look, it ran the high and lost the high, just bounced off its volume-weighted average price. So, yeah, you would tend to think that maybe in this particular case, if we're really, really thinking that we're heading to the downside after this, then it would be the Russell that would also be breaking down. Not seeing it happen at all. I know, Sean, you mentioned gold. GLD here. Load up in a quick little second. GLD holding strength and bouncing higher. So it's kind of a weird thing. You got gold going up. I have the Russell holding strength. I wouldn't necessarily expect that to go in the same direction, but that's where we are right now. So let's see if this can break out. I think
I listened to that.
if you can get gold breaking, that's not usually the best sign for the market. But just a weird, I'm not going to touch IWM. The one time I traded on the Fed, it was doing what I was expecting, and I wasn't expecting it to be bouncing here. I thought that would be something you could trade at a breakdown. The only new thing for me was PayPal. I'm holding on to ACB. If you pull up that, whatever, I'll get it out of the way.
Short PayPal, eh?
If we get 440s, I'm out on ACB. If we get VWAP, maybe I take it a third time. Probably not. I have a trailing stop anyways here underneath like 478. Just been holding on to this since VWAP. I'm not sure we get VWAP again. You could pick your poison, whether it's Like the reason I'm in PayPal as opposed to like Block, let's just say, is because I don't know why Block came all the way back after all of that stablecoin disaster. So I decided you got to go into the one that's relatively weak. So one is consolidating lower and the other one is breaking back out. Maybe that means that Block is better than PayPal. I just know that it means for now it's stronger, so I short the other one.
All right. I'm looking up golf courses. Where to golf? Here, my brother just asked me if we want to go out somewhere, so I was like, all right, let me find a place. Okay. But all right, so yeah, we're just here, man. We're $2.50 in the money on these two trades, but it doesn't mean that we're not looking for more, because we are. So let's check out what SMR is doing. We were looking at that earlier on today as well. We wanted a 39 break. That didn't happen. That's on our sticky note. We got the 197.50, which is on the sticky. Like the two plays that are on the note today are 197.50. So first of all, MRVL came out, by the way. That just came back in. We tested 74. It broke 74. We got out for like literally a 10-cent hit, and then it went back up. But the trades that were on this board today for myself, and I just want to say thank you to everybody for following. Yo, what's up, Joseph Wilson? Let me see what this man is posting over here. Okay, Mini-Me, I see you. There it is right there. Nice little long there for Joseph. And a nice little long right there as well for my Italian-Jamaican friend. I'm reloaded. He's reloaded. Okay, you're not. I'm reloaded. All right, I like it, Joe. I like it, Joe. But we'll come up with our own stuff over there. No, we're just playing around. All right, so we'll go over here, man. And, the one thing that we know, there's lunch. That's roast beef. It was okay. There we go. Oh, yeah, by the way, I was just going for a little walk. Look at this in Yorkville. Water wall. You're my water wall. Okay. All right, there we go. Second best voice around here, this guy. Here's MRVL, 71. So the two trades today, right? Plus we have AMD, which is awesome. AMD's been P&L number 1 and 2 the last 2 days. Today it'll be number 2 on the show. But MRVL, huge long 71 to 73.50 break. That's monstrous. And there's the Apple 197.50. 197.50, Joe. There it is. It's another one. So there's the wins today on all that. Here's the MRVL. Kaboom goes to dynamite. That's going to be P&L number 1 around these joints. Actually, it's not actually. AMD's bigger, by the way, actually, than this, believe it or not. And then Apple, it's 197.50, Neil, is what we gave out. And there's 197.50, and there is $1.50. So nice move right there, finally. And it's just a matter of waiting for the levels, man, being as patient as possible. We know our role around here, and we're happy to be that trader. And good trades there so far. We've only traded 3 today, man. It's MRVL, right? That's the first one. It's AMD. P&L number 1, 3 days in a row, AMD. And then Apple, the third trade on the short side of things. So, we'll do what we're doing over here, continue to trade and continue to look for opportunities. Like, I'm looking at this hot list here, and like NVEC, okay, that's not going to be anything. NVIDIA, Tesla, Q, SPY, AMD, Palantir, Circle, that might be something. It's past 52-week high, 165, now 182 in play there as well. Other than that, man, Apple, Amazon maybe could be looked at going green to red. Maybe right now, just trying to get green right here is AMZN. So yeah, it's just dancing around, but hey, man, so far so good. Sharif, what's going on over there?
Remind you guys, the dot plot came out today. The last one we got was March. So here's what we're looking at, guys. We're looking at 7 market or FOMC members who want to hold rates as they currently are. So 7 are basically looking at no cuts by the end of the year. You have 2 here. That's what these 2 dots are, that are looking for 1 rate cut by the end of the year. And then you have 8 that are looking for 2, and 2 members are looking for 3 cuts. That's what we're getting for the rest of full year 2025, guys. This is for 2026. This is available on the FOMC website. You literally go to the homepage, and it's number 2 or 3 there on the news releases. Boys, just wanted to cover that again.
There you go, and thank you. That's essentially the only thing you can really glean was, before we get anything out of Powell's mouth, was going to be, they still look like they want a couple of cuts. Coin's taking names. It's right back into the highs. It's a tale of 2 markets right now. You've got pretty much some of these crypto names, and then you have a lot of everything else. in terms of strength versus weakness. So coin, it feels like it's the strongest one, but percentage-wise, oddly enough, Circle is up 22%. The difference is coin did it all like late. Circle did almost all the work very, very early in the session. So anyone that's watching, try to understand where the strength and weakness is. Each stock is going to be a little bit different from the others. Even, like I said, even within the chip space, you do have things like NVIDIA looking strong, AMD looking weak. SMCI was a lot stronger earlier. I think this was just a technical squeeze when it broke higher. We didn't find any news on SMCI when it broke out, but it's above VWAP. It's 3.5% to the upside. So I think this is what you gotta parse away. I'm always looking for relative strength and weakness. That's why I like PayPal. That's why I'm still offering the top end of the range for the rubber band action. If we get it into VWAP on AMD, it's looking a little bit less likely that we could. I do have a bit of a backup plan in the chip space. I've had my eyes on ARM for a bit. It's got a brick wall that it put in the last couple of days just underneath the 148, so fail breakout there, a little bit of a brick wall. Like if I don't get AMD on a press up, this does stand right in front of a big resistance level. But I'd rather get AMD at the volume weighted average price first. Just to make sure that you're trading something either in part of your plan at levels you like. You don't want to get chopped around in the next 15 minutes before Powell even hits the podium. That's the thing, like have a solid plan of action, because this chop fest here, when we got what we expected, which was no change, you don't want to get messed up and try to fight some kind of a trend, trying to short Coinbase when it's strong, just because you think the market's headed to the downside. Like short one of the names that's getting punked by this.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, same kind of thought with all of that, right, is that we might as well wait. I mean, the most important thing is, of course, what color tie is Jerome Powell wearing. So we'll wait to figure out what tie that he's wearing. Maybe it's going to be a purple
Fuchsia.
one. Maybe it's going to be fuchsia. I mean, that's the thing that matters around here.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so we'll wait. You don't know.
Is purple good or bad?
I don't know.
I don't know, okay.
We need to ask. Yeah.
I can talk about the ties. So purple, okay, to be fair, this data is incredibly skewed because he wears purple ties by far the most. But
really?
Purple is pretty neutral. Purple is, I would say, usually just kind of indicates that there is no change. Blue is terrible for the market. The market jumped about 75% of the time that he wore a blue tie. He only wore a red tie once, but it dumped the market. So yeah, I would say blue is by far like the worst case scenario here. And again, as funny as it is, I'm not saying causation, only saying correlation. I did study, over 50 Jerome Powell FOMC appearances. And again, you guys can check out all of this data on X at TTV Research. It's a very long thread, lots of infographics, lots of legends and visuals.
It's
the Trader TV tie thing is, if I ever wear one, either I'm on my way after this to hopefully a wedding and not a funeral, or I got a court case. That, probably, let's be real, I'm probably not going to I'm past our wedding days because we're a little bit older now.
Yeah.
No, but look, man, I'm probably, must be a court case if you see me in a tie on this show. But yeah, you can always have some fun with it. I like purple. I don't think I own a purple tie.
Yeah, I only bring it up because I don't think anybody's actually taking that.
No, I'm just having fun with it.
Yeah, we're just having fun with it. Right?
It was a joke on our floor. If someone showed up, we're like, the first thing you asked is you hope that there wasn't a death in the family.
Yeah.
And then if it wasn't that, it's like, oh, so you got a court case today, some parking tickets? Like, what's going on here? That's
when I first saw Joe, I told him he's in the wrong spot. He needed to go. He was looking for the runway, but it wasn't around here. But was he trying to wear a tie? That would be hilarious if he.
Oh, he was?
Sharif is just stirring it up, man.
They almost killed me because I wore a tie that one day. You wanted to wear a tie.
Who almost killed you? Hold on a second.
That's right. As long as Sharif understands that I can kill him at any time. As long as everybody's understanding of that. I did tell the judge I'd keep these things away, but for now we'll wait. Yeah. No, Sharif, you're safe, man.
You're good.
Don't worry about that. Just you guys can wear ties if you want. No, I was just saying that because Joe's always looked so dapper.
No, he does.
When I first saw the guy, I was like, he ain't fitting around here, but now he fits quite fine. So shout out to my guy Joe, Miami Joe. We love Joe. Around here. Do you guys see Brad Marchand? That guy was chilling. He had 3 or 4 drinks in his hands in Florida saying, thank you, Boston, for letting him go, because playing in Florida, I mean, no state tax, the weather, other things, and especially Florida Panthers in MIA. So
what other things, Sean?
In Miami.
Absolutely nothing else.
The beach,
I know.
Beautiful weather, anonymity. you know, that's why a lot of hockey players don't want to come to Toronto, because you can't walk down the street, right? In Florida, you could be Connor McDavid and people would walk right by you. They wouldn't know anything.
Mitch Marner ain't trying to walk down the streets.
Here in Toronto, you can't even. Phil Kessel was getting a hot dog, and the poor guy never got it let down from him. But there it goes, man. All right, so oops, I just went long the wrong thing there on TQQs. I did not need to be in that. I thought that was me getting out of some Apple. So we'll offer out of these TQs, just immediately just punch out. We don't need to be in that one. What I was trying to do was get out of more of this. So there's my bid on Apple. We just put it on the wrong trade there. And then AMD, good move. But no, what I was looking for on the futures there before we started talking about Joe there was just waiting for Powell to come through, right? I mean, I want to short the market. We've been talking about short. I think today is a relatively uneventful day in the market. You could see this sort of move right into here, you know, like if we can just keep on this trend going to the downside. We did spend a couple minutes above it, but we haven't spent any other time above this level throughout the day. So this little line here gets us downside. This is the Nasdaq here, starting to go down. Obviously, we have some fills down there, but we'll think about this short. We're still net short. They're huge. They're good trades. We're not heavy in them, but we do want to put on some more, especially once Powell gets out there. So we joke around the tie. I don't think anybody's actually taking that seriously. But there's VWAP right there at 74.20s. And, you know, that would be a little bit of a reload, or not a reload, a good spot to take your first position. We're 8 minutes away. Remember, it's a prepared speech from Powell. So it's not, the Q&A is more what's going to matter. But I think it's really just the fact that they're going to ask him more about Trump, like, you know, what's your opinion on this? And he's just going to say, you know, his policy has nothing to do with, you know, the current administration and all of this, and that he's monitoring, as Neil said, tariffs and you know, prices of oil, I would assume, as well, and some of the tensions in the Middle East. But again, it's an economic thing, right? And so as long as, you know, they see inflation where it is, the job market where it is, money supply.
You know what he should get asked?
Yeah.
Someone needs to ask him about the based U.S. dollar dominance, like U.S. dollar strength, and the flight away from foreign, like who's buying treasuries, and the fact that you have less foreign buyers of treasuries. They should ask him about that. They should probably ask him why the ECB feels like they should cut 8 times and we're doing none. I say we. Look, man, we're in Canada, but if I say we, whatever, we all own a bunch of the U.S. stocks.
We chat.
That's how we roll. And talk about how is that disparity something that you're paying attention to, and what that might do to the bond market and to the treasury market. Those are kind of things you're going to see asked of him, and hopefully he provides answers which are going to move the market. There was someone in the chat said, why short bias? All I wanted to point out was, okay, fine, we had this wick in here. Like you have this one wick up since 2 o'clock, but we had been trending down into a breakdown. I'm just looking at the Nasdaq, ES, basically same thing. So you're going to see trend down, breakdown, try to break back out, fail some lower highs. Like you're just still overall working into a trend down. So I think you want to stay with that trend. I mean, if you can find anybody. If you can find, so like I said, if you can find something along, like if you're long Coinbase, then you're probably still holding along in Coinbase. If I was long Coinbase, maybe I'd still have that and wouldn't care too much what's going on here. But if you're looking at the overall trend of the market and how it flipped after the first 30 minutes, well, then play into some things that are short. And if you can get entries, that's kind of where my head is at least until 2:30, which is only in about 7 minutes. So I don't anticipate doing anything crazy until after 2:30. So let's just keep tight to the best. If you have any questions out there, let us know. Any symbols that you guys are.
I have a new strategy.
You just typed in bull. What's happening?
Oh no, someone just said Webull almost back to 11. So good on that one. That's where we bought it. No, I have a new thing here. What if Jerome Powell is wearing an orange tie? You know, orange is generally the color for Bitcoin. So if he's wearing orange,
punch long.
All right, enough of that. I'm just playing around. But yeah, that might be interesting there. So watch out for Bitcoin here, 104 and change. Yeah, so that's an interesting play. I always want to look over at Bitcoin just in case something was going on. You know, again, Bitcoin and money supply is obviously one of the main reasons why people are bullish on crypto, stable coins, money supply, things like that. But again, if your stable coin is based on US dollar, you know, like USDC and things like that, you're kind of playing that game anyways. It's crypto, Bitcoin, that won't follow the US dollar, I would hope. Or I haven't seen that anyways, that relationship. So 104.1 right now for crypto. But the market's coming back in, man. So here we go. We're going to be landing a nice little profit here as Apple continues to go down. This is now $2 in the money, basically, from our post. And there it goes downside. Of course, we're just taking out a couple shares at a time here as it goes down because we don't want to be too exposed to the downside, to the upside of any more dovish talk. So, you know, Powell generally, from my experience, will rally the market when he starts speaking. And then when he's off, I remember one time I was just waiting, and as soon as he left, it was like, whoops, and the market fell off, and we were able to hit that pretty darn well. So I want to thank everybody who's here for watching us, man. Over 300 likes, 7,000 watching. So I apologize we're not doing the greatest job, but if you guys like the show, hit it, man. 1 out of every 20 of you right now hitting the like button. Let's get that a little up. That should be at least at 1,000 right now if you're watching this. Hit the like button. That's a way for us to sort of get that going right now and tell YouTube where you're at for the day. But we're at real good, man. We're going to be 3 for 3 so far and looking for more opportunities and trying to be as patient as we possibly can. I want to thank Roblox for giving basically my kids the $15 a month until they're done because this has been a great trade for longs, man. We're long Roblox in the 30s and we did get out of most of it. I always try to hold 20 to 25%, so I'm going to look again. It's funny because there was a story on something to PayPal, I think it was. I was like, great, I own PayPal. And then I thought, I looked over and it was like, what don't I own? And Roblox, though, straight up right now, 104, going higher and higher. Nothing can stop Roblox right now as that continues to go higher. Remember, there's that Grow Garden game that had 26 million live
players
accounts, I guess. Players, yeah, players is the right word. On that game the other day, setting apparently some kind of record. So there goes Roblox, nice upside play there. Again, man, all they're doing is collecting that percentage, of course, on the Robux and everything like that. So it's just almost as many people on that game at one point than there are people in Canada. So
that's a crazy.
Yeah, so there it goes, man. Roblox really running things right now. The other play that I like is Take-Two. You know, this is another game right here that's coming out with Grand Theft Auto. That's going to be coming out who knows when. It's been delayed now forever. But I really do like this name as well for trying to break out. It's a real big mistake not to have gone long down into here around 225 about like a month or so ago. If we get that opportunity again, I think this is something that will add to the yield portfolio some Take-Two Interactive because I do think that game will obviously be hot fire. I mean, I see how hot fire COD is and things like that. So Take-Two should bounce upside. And then we had Warren Buffett and company buy out Activision, right? So Microsoft deal, and then Warren was in ATVI. Yeah. So again, some smart money in the gaming sector, especially Roblox.
And that's this segment and the Fed action here brought to you by Origenics because each year 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., yet there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE listed Origenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access, with the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027. Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. Scan the QR code if you're interested in learning more. OGEN on the NYSE. Look, obviously it's a great cause. No questions asked. Brain health matters. And if you want to preserve your brain health, maybe don't short Circle. I just saw in the chat Engine saying that Circle is making another fresh high, 25% and climbing and absolutely. Look, it's destroying shorts. Anybody shorting this is in the gates of hell right now. Like I said, try not to pick on this one. A moment may come where Circle decides that it's going to go down and then someone's going to make a bunch of money short, but there's going to be a lot of other people that are blown out before that happens, and it's probably already happened to a bunch of people. So congratulations, you got this one. The stablecoin news, obviously a much bigger catalyst than even I anticipated. Didn't really expect that to happen, as goes without saying, because I got out like a bajillion dollars ago. PayPal's still kind of holding inside the range. It's no longer flushing when coin and Circle and the rest of the group go up. Like, it's sliding down while those are still going up. So it might just be that we've already fallen, we're going to fall. The other aspect of it is when I zoom out, we're pretty much at the 50-period moving average on the daily, which you should always zoom out first. Yeah, it's kind of a decent spot for us to be bouncing. So I just essentially tightening the stop up to break even. But let's go to Dara. We have the press conference starting in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, actually, the feed just started here, so great timing. But I also want to mention here Microsoft, because I'm seeing a report on this one circulate around X. Apparently, the company is planning, quote, thousands more job cuts, specifically in its sale division. So Microsoft cutting some jobs as Fed Chair Jerome Powell takes the stage. Not that these events are correlated, but worth noting, he just started talking. And back to the guys.
I don't know if we're going to be able to do what we usually do, where we can put Powell up in the corner, get the closed captions for everybody. That way, you can sort of read along with what he's going to say. But remember, the initial comments are just going to be prepared. It's prepared comments first. Should be no surprises there. And then Powell's going to hit the podium. At that point, we'll see if we get any kind of clarity as to when we could be getting some actual rate cuts this year, which is what the markets want. I see some people in the chat saying what color his tie is. I don't really know. I'm not looking at right now. But Chairman Powell has gone to the podium. The initial market reaction is back to the downside, so the shorts continue to win. Here is the Nasdaq sliding down, but we're not falling apart. It's just the initial push was to the downside, as the bears have been in control. Now we just have to not move, or this sucker is going to fall off right there. See, you got to have, there's like, instead of, as a trader, instead of like you have the devil and the, and then the angel, you would have a bear and the bull on either end. Right. Although I got to get this off because like I don't want to knock the bulls are winning. I don't want to knock them onto the ground because it wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, Randy having a little bit of fun there. I love that idea. We should have graphics that we can throw on our shoulders for that. Like a bear shows up, you're feeling bearish. A bull shows up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That idea is years old, and we never.
Yeah, I know we never really did that one. I liked it. Whatever. I guess maybe it's not. Maybe it's not that good an idea. I don't know.
40 pictures.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, if you just hold it down, it takes 20.
Yeah, I know. We just did a behind-the-scenes picture there with Randy, so we'll be posting that up in a minute. I mean, more importantly, what color is this man's tie? I mean,
I didn't see.
Let me see what they're purple. Looks purple to me.
Yeah, that's purple.
I don't know. Is that purple?
That looks purple.
Yeah. All right. So what does purple mean? All right. So
maybe we're going up. I don't know.
Here we go. So
Purple's pretty neutral.
Purple's neutral. Okay, so irrelevant then. All right, so neutral. And what a surprise. On a 99.9% chance situation, the dude's wearing purple right now, the color of the Laurier Golden Hawks, of course. QB.
Just kidding.
They actually have a QB in the NFL right now. So
yeah,
Laurier
he's
Golden
legit.
Hawks.
He's legit.
I don't know. With Green Bay. Okay, so. Anyways, AMD, we covered a little bit. We're waiting. So if we're going to look at the TQQs right here, just real quick. There's the move up. So we'll wait to see if we can get something. You know what? Now that I'm seeing the futures doing this, let's get out of a little bit more of AMD right here. Why not? And then we'll get out of a little bit more of Apple as well, just in case this market does want to rally just a little bit more. Back up there to the upside, and so we're just going to cover a little bit. So out of some more Apple there at 12s, out of some more, we did not get that fill on AMD. Where was I bidding on AMD? I'm bidding O's. So 127 on that one. Microsoft planning thousands of more job cuts being planned right now from Microsoft. So yeah, again, we knew it would be a no big deal right there, but not too bad. So there's Microsoft there trying to get more efficient, cutting jobs. I would never like to hear that as a story, but Microsoft at all-time highs. And what do you write, Microsoft? What are you, Roblox or something? Look at Microsoft, straight huge moves, man, just breaking out of all-time high ranges right now, and not even near well, we're still $10 away, but we haven't tested this in a week or so. Microsoft just keeps on testing highs, and there it goes. Nice upside play for MSFT right now, going higher there on planned more job cuts. So not bad outs there on Apple. But yeah, Robinhood's at 78. That's amazing. Is SoFi above 15 right now? Yes, it is, man. 15.25 right there for SoFi. So I think that, out of the 50 names or something that I own, and I'm going to look that up. I think SoFi is getting close to exiting the old portfolio here. If we can get to 1650, which is still a ways away, about $1 and change away, I think SoFi has seen better portfolios than mine. So I think we'll exit that and give somebody else a chance to buy those shares for me. But right there, SoFi up to 1650 would be something that I'd consider dropping out with. But
get to 17 for me.
all right, let's go over to Adara.
We have Powell here, who is wearing a purple tie, continuing to express a lot of uncertainty, I would actually say, even though this Fed statement said there was a little bit less uncertainty. He's saying that there might be some concerns here with regards to the GDP, or at least in terms of measuring how it could be impacted. I guess they said, though, right now, the current stance of policy is well positioned to respond to, I guess, any of this uncertainty. But yeah, just saying that because I guess there's a swing in net exports, a little bit harder to measure GDP. For the record, in case you missed it, the Fed's currently expecting about 1.4% GDP for the year. He also said that it, quote, remains to be seen how sentiment will impact spending. So keep an eye on some of these retail sales measures. We know retail sales was unexpectedly low yesterday. Back to you.
Finally went short here of the futures, so let's just figure out where it's going. I'm short the futures, that's it. But light right now. We'd like to get a little bit higher, man. If we can get something at 74.50, then fine. But right now, we're just starting a little short right now in like a tenth of a position. Like that, now that we've seen that top, I think I'll try to use that right there as our top. So there it goes. Let's see if we can get some downside play here on AMD. So far, so good on this short, or sorry, on the TQs. Let's just see how far we can go down now. You know, looking to maybe average something out around 73.80. Let's just go put a bid there in case it just makes one of those whooshes again.
Yeah, so I mean, you can see Powell right there. We do have him up. You can see the comments, but that was a flush to the downside. Oddly enough, at the exact same moment, okay, PayPal's going down. I was about to go to Circle. At the exact same moment, Circle made another break. I missed my chance to do the dart thing and say 180, but Circle's at 190. And Circle might get...
Say 190.
But you can't score. Yeah, I know.
I know, you can't get...
I love, like, live darts is exciting.
I want to go to one of those events.
It looks like... I've been to, like, a cheap one before, like a local one. Whatever, it's not the same thing. And even that was pretty hype.
You got to go across
the
pond.
You got to go, yeah, you got to go across the pond and see for real. Circle is by far the biggest squeeze this afternoon. So even when the market just dipped, we just continue this trend up. Hopefully it does mean that PayPal will go down as the other side of that play. And for those that are in Coinbase, now Nasdaq name, of course, tracking close to 300, but see, not breaking the way that Circle is. Circle's squeezing, Coinbase is trending higher at this particular moment. So let's see, the market is still underneath the volume weighted average price. I think you want to short pops. I might have to back away from this notion of getting VWAP on AMD because it's just not getting there. That's twice that we have wicked up and gone to 127.30 and then come back down. So it's not getting to the volume weighted average price. You can anchor yourself to prices you've traded at before or lines on charts, but you should try to trade the price action. The price action says 127.40 is where the resistance is. So that's where I'm going to have to lie if we want to be able to pick this one up. So, you know, Powell hasn't really delivered anything that's going to pump the market yet. So everyone waiting for big pop a pump, he's still retired, at least I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen Big Papa Pump around too much. Okay, so Apple is still, okay, well, Apple's at a level now where we should take some more out of AAPL, man. I mean, obviously we wish we had held it from the top. It's now a $1 and $2 winner from the posted 197.50 level, so that's going to be a good one. Let's just take out some more as we're now near the lows here for Apple. We're just waiting for the TQs to get a little bit lower as well. See you at 120, says NVIDIA, says Jameson for NVIDIA.
120?
What's up, Dara?
Powell just started taking questions, but one thing he said I think is really interesting here. He said the obligation of the Fed is to keep one-time price increases, implied, of course, because of tariffs, to, I guess, to stop them from becoming ongoing inflation problems. We know this has been a recurring issue for the Fed, to see if there's any way to make these tariffs just a one-time issue instead of a recurring problem for inflation for the Fed to deal with. So that's coming right now. Just to answer his first question, I'll be keeping an eye on this and I'll send it back to you.
XJLM says it the other way. See you at 160 on NVIDIA. I mean, right now, see you at nothing on NVIDIA. NVIDIA's range, since we've come back on, is 30, maybe 40 cents. back and forth, like that 40-cent range. I mean, you can probably scalp it on a Fed day. I don't know. That just seems like NVIDIA, you want it to break away and then take a shot at it. So 120, I'm not really a fan of that. If NVIDIA gets to 120, I'm probably not doing anything if NVIDIA gets to 120. I was a buyer back in March, and that's the last time I touched this stock, and I'm waiting for the all-time high break, which I think can still happen. And there's nothing has been said this afternoon that makes me change, like nothing. Nothing changes my opinions. If I was bearish on a stock from this morning, I still feel the same way. If you're bullish on something from this morning, you should still feel the same way. Not a heck of a lot has been going on here that should be changing your mind away from price action.
We're reading things real good. Like we just took the TQs, man. We just got filled there. We're actually already out of half as we just continue to scalp out. We got that fill right there, 74.35s, man. We just got some out at 21s and 20s. Sorry, 21s, 24s and 21s. And here we go lower right now, man. This is a 20-cent win. So like I said, it's just about the things that you trade. If you trade things a little more active, obviously we're looking at the futures. This is triple times the lever right here with the TQQs. So it could easily rip up. I mean, we have our target out right there if it breaks above. So, you know, it's kind of a pretty simple trade. We just took some out there for 1-to-1, and now it goes back up. I mean, to be able to predict about, you know, what Jerome Powell is going to say is very, very tough. And that's why right now, during this environment, the best thing to do is when you see some lows like that, you take them out. And if you're short, you bid and you get out, right? You don't necessarily punch the short or anything like that. Wait to see if you can get some of your levels and then play off of those, right? I mean, you're going to get a lot of wicks back and forth when Powell's on there because, again, one question might lead us to a hawkish response and the next to a dovish, and depending on how, you know, the market reads those. So our stop, remember, oops, that's Apple still. Our stop on the Apple's actually still doing fine, hanging out down here. Apple just at its lows, basically, when the market's doing this. I mean, look how exciting today was for the Fed. I mean, this. So nothing. You know, we had a bigger move randomly at 10:30 right there. We had a huge move here. I don't know what that's about. We had a big move there at 1:30 as well. And then here again at 2 o'clock, bigger move. And then right now at 2:30. So, you know, now we're starting to go higher. So that's nice. We'll see if we can take out that level as now the TQQs are getting a little spicy back there to the upside. So we're not happy to get stopped out of this. I mean, we can put, there it goes. Now we're going to get stopped out. Yep, there it goes. I don't know if it ran 61 there. It looks like we got out there at that top of 61. Let me put that back on because I'm not sure that ran us out there, but we are out now. 74. I'm going to go 66s there. We're short now at 56. Let's give ourselves about 10 cents worth of room there because I'm not sure if that actually broke, but whatever, man. Price action don't lie. We got stopped out there. So we'll go back in and see if that is for real. Stopping out 10 cents higher. So it looks like we will get stopped out for reals now on the high side. But okay, let's go. Was that a call for Adara? Then if so, let's go.
Powell's still expressing some concerns here about tariffs. He said that the size, amount, and durations of the tariffs are highly uncertain. And he did say that also they're expecting to see more increase here in goods inflation. In general, apparently they're already starting to see some more tariff effects. They're expecting to see more going further, and they cannot assume that tariff inflation will be a one-time hit. The market does not care about any of this, continuing to push higher. I'm going to keep, of course, listening to this, keeping an eye on this. If there's anything on watch here, I'll let you know. But he did say that apparently the Fed is focusing on the near term for these policy path projections. It's harder to forecast long term. Again, all this uncertainty on watch. Back to you.
So I actually did get into, I moved from AMD at VWAP in front of 128 as a short to where it was wicking out every single time, which was 127.35. My stop's going to be above 40. You got 21s in there. Usually I'd have 22 if I was getting in front of 25, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to play inside the range here. If we play inside the range down to 126 and a half, still basically the same thing going on for PayPal, like just very slowly grinding back down. The way like PayPal's move down is kind of like coins move up. It's reached the point where it's going like linearly and slow as opposed to what you're seeing over in Circle, which is still a little bit parabolic. So yeah, AMD's the only one new. I do have a stop at 126.40. Rivian Millionaire is saying Intel is a ripper. Really? I mean, yeah, it's up 3%.
That's pretty
I
ripping.
mean, you know what? For Intel, yeah, that's a ripper today. I took one trade on Intel. It was a trend break. It was basically like this trend break into the volume weighted average price. I held on to some for it to break down and then stop that out at break even. I just don't see much of a reason to get back into it. To me, this is a name that looks like you're trading it if you're bullish. If you're bullish, you're buying it in front of VWAP. If you're bearish, seems to me like this is one to stay away from. Clearly relatively strong for reasons as usual unknown, but until this breaks out above 22 and 23, it's still the same doldrums for them, where the real best buy you can get has been 19, maybe $20, and then you hope to get a point or something like that, or point or two.
Let's go.
And that's all you can get.
Let's go right now. Here we go. I just looked at I got filled at 59 there. So I don't think on the TQs that even actually broke. So here we go, man. Now we'll fire it off. We'll props up here because we get back in there on that false break. I mean, it probably did break, but didn't break with any confidence. So we have that confidence and got right back into that trade. And right now we're at the highest spot we've been at all day. And it's thanks to, again, some of the trading that we've just put on. I mean, we're basically flat to where we were. It's just we were holding something, and there it comes right back in right now to the downside there. It's only a quarter in the money for us right now. So, yeah, any kind of a move up on Intel should be a short, just FYI on that. All right, so IBIT right here is, shoot. I sort of thought we were making more of a move. We moved up $400. I thought that might have been something, but whoopsies. But on the chart, it doesn't, I better get rid of that. On the chart, it doesn't look like anything. So line, remove right now on IBIT as we go back and forth. I want to thank 800 of you now for hitting that like. So thanks for doing that as well. 6,500 watching, 800 likes. That's good enough. Hit the like if you haven't, though. Until then, can we look at BBAI? Sure, we can look at Big Bear AI. We love some Big Bear AI around these joints, but it's not doing too much right now at all. I've already looked at this on a higher time frame on Big Bear AI, 450. I'm thinking that break. I mean, I don't like the fact that we've stopped there now 2 days in a row up here on Big Bear AI. I'm not getting any out here. The first area to get something out for myself would probably be around $6. And then we ask it when it's going to moon and get higher up on Big Bear AI. So yeah, man, I mean, right now, like I said, we're in this new position here for the TQQs, but I do like Big Bear AI. On that note, let's check out what's going on with Palantir right now as well. Palantir up 0.8%. So again, 3 times the market. Okay, come on, Powell, man. He's saying no one... Yeah, rate path projections, no great deal of conviction. So we'll figure out what that means exactly, but no great conviction on any rate path. So, all right, cannot make a case for any of the rate paths. So I don't know exactly what that means, but for right now, let's just start to cover some more. Great trade here. Can make a case for any of the... So what he's saying is like, there's so much uncertainty right now going back and forth. I mean, you could see him right here live on the screen. So we're just taking advantage of this, man. What a good short here on the futures. Let's see if it eventually prints out for us. But we're up on Apple, up on AMD, up on MRVL, up on the TQs. We don't have anything else that we've traded. So far, so good here. It's going to be another good day. It always happens that you get the holidays right when you're on crazy heaters, but that's fine. The wife and I are already going out for breakfast. We're really pumped up about that. So it's going to be a nice little brunch. That should be a lot of fun. Huervos ranchero. Something like that. I'll be having, and there's some sort of pancake thing that she wants. Okay, man, here it comes to the downside right now. Let's go, TQQs, man. It is a hot dog cannon kind of a day. Now, whether or not you believe a hot dog is a sandwich or not, we're firing them off today. Just don't get hit in the face by a wiener, my guy. There it comes right now. 74.10. Nice downside play right now for the futures. We've got this, and we've got it good. If you understood, Adara, are we going over to her? No, we are not. There's Steve Leisman.
No, we are not.
To Neil. Let's go over to Neil right now. How's it going, Instagram?
If you're trying to level up, you're probably short in the market right now because that's all that's been working. But you can also level your game up at Prop XP, up to 1-to-200 leverage and a static drawdown. Scroll the site and pick your challenge at propxp.com. Trade directly on the platform, sign up, try it for free, and start your trading journey. Enjoy rapid payouts and real human support. No bots. Rated 4.6 stars on Trustpilot, trusted by traders worldwide. Right now, get 50% off with the code TraderTV. Links in the description. Be the trader, get funded, and join Prop XP today. Your edge starts there. Just a quick update. 127 bounced on AMD, went into the thirds, got out 127. I'm playing inside the range. Really just had this in PayPal to the south side. Can't find a long that I like where I'd have tried it. The shorts are still winning as we go back to Adara, and Powell continues to pontificate.
Comments coming through here from Jerome Powell. He's saying that, quote, we will likely get to a place where rate cuts are appropriate. Does not really specify when or what the pathway is going to be here. He just said also to remember how much uncertainty the Fed and the U.S. economy faces. He says he knows that the time will come when they'll have more confidence. Again, unsure when that time is as of right now. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Adara. Yeah, man. I mean, we've got short Apple, AMD, and the TQQ. Let me see. Is anything happening with the U.S. dollar with UUP right now? We actually looked this up on the DXY here. Yeah, so UUP making a move higher here. Let's check out the U.S. dollar right now as it's trying to get a little bit higher as well. The DXY. Let's go over to a 1 minute chart. Why not? There it goes. Nice move higher there. Circle's breaking higher right here.
No. Might break
lower.
down.
Oh, break lower circle. Okay. Yeah, there's the U.S. dollar. Nice move up there as well as no rate cut, right? So I think that was expected in the market. Sometimes you get the here goes U.S. dollar even pushing higher right now as the stock market goes downside. Oh boy, man. Having that TQ short looks like it's going to be a doozy. I did cover a little bit more for 80 cents now on AMD, so that's going to be a good one. And there's the Nasdaq short. So we shorted it. It's okay. Okay. Now we're getting going right here, man. This is exactly what we're doing. Watch out for that wiener in the face one more time, because there it comes down 73.90 right now coming into play for the TQs. So we are short the futures, we're short AMD, we're short Apple, and we wait for some more action right here live on Trader TV Live. Neil's got PayPal, we've got joined with AMD, and then short the marijuana stocks right now with
that
Batman.
Thing is trash.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Look, Powell could have cut rates 100 times and ACB would still be going down, everybody. That's just how it is. Well, maybe not 100 times, but you know what I'm saying. Bad stocks will be bad stocks. Good stocks will be good stocks. Just be careful, everybody. Circle is starting to break down. You know it's getting bearish if the strongest thing out there is going to fall. And as a matter of fact, it's getting so bearish that it's shaking the camera around here, everybody. So, like I said, only in AMD, only put 2 trades on AMD and PayPal to the south side. They're both grinding a little bit lower. But I'd be careful here with Circle. If I was in Circle or Coinbase, just understand at some point, it doesn't matter how strong you are, you will see profit takers if we get bearish enough here and start breaking down some of the levels from this morning. Like if we break, the Nasdaq ends up breaking down underneath some of the support that we've been putting in, call it 21,980. Oh, by the way, change your contract to U. We're on the U contract this week doing more volume, everybody. So just change that one over if you haven't done so already. If your platform does it automatically, fantastic. But if we break that support, I would suspect that some of the names that you were considering strong are going to catch a little bit of weakness. Maybe that's even Intel. It could even be NVIDIA at VWAP. NVIDIA might break down any second now. NVIDIA's been holding 144.75. That happens. I think we see LOD on a low of day on AMD. And maybe we take a flat bottom break here on NVIDIA. It's looking more and more enticing. You look for trend after the podium until he's off the podium. And that means short until he stops speaking. Powell stops speaking.
$1. McDonald's enters the dollar club.
McDonald's
with their iced coffee.
McDonald's.
Okay, so there it is right now, man. We are now in the dollar club on AMD. We're at $1.65 here. And thank you, Epic Strategy. Was it Epic Strategy or who it was there in the chat that said great call on the short? I mean, there goes the futures right back in. We just take a great cover here in the 90s. Let's take another one right now. We still have on a third of this trade. And let's take out a little bit more here in the 70s. Through my pen. Let's go. It's a big one there. So it's a good trade coming through one more time here. Like we said, man, this is a trading show. This is a trade right there that we put on, man. And there it goes. Wow. All right, I would have never thought that this is something that was going to happen, but there it goes. Huge trade right there. Nice downside play on that. I mean, we're now $1.30 in the money on AMD right now as that continues to go lower. Hey, man, let's just cover more of this. Like, we've got enough shares on where we're covering these trades down here just step by step, because it's one of those situations right now with Powell that although he's going to be stepping off, I would assume momentarily. I think last time it was like around 3, quarter after 3, something like that. Worth taking some profit off right now, right here, and yeah, just enjoying sort of the downside. Yeah, I think last time it was pretty late. Just enjoying this move down right there. I mean, here's our short. We could have reshorted it up there, but we didn't. And then Apple has been working, and then really it's this trade that's really sending, you know. Obviously, we're trading, so it's sending the net going upside right here as the market goes downside. But you know, we'll wait. So thanks for all of that, and thanks for the love there in the chat. You know, we get it right sometimes, not all the time. What's up? Oh, let me check MRVL just real quickly here, because wow, that's crazy. So it goes to 74. We tried another shot there. We got out of our last bit there. Tried another shot at 74. Got hit out of it, and then it rips up $1.50 against us. So whatever. Marvell's still big trade alert today on MRVL, breaking that high of 73.50 and getting some out at 77 and change. All right, there, what you got?
Powell here really exercising a lot of caution, saying that the Fed will make a smarter decision if they wait a few months for more data. They want to also take some time to see how large inflation impacts will be. So as they say this, we get a bit of a larger push low in the market. He also said that no one, I guess he was referring to the Fed here, no one holds these rate path ideas here with a great deal of conviction. So really, I guess, ready and willing to see what unfolds. That's why they're ready to be patient, and actually why he'd prefer to be patient in this case. And back to you.
Okay, so I mean, patience, whatever. Maybe not the word that I said he'd say a million times. What did I say? I said he'd say like monitoring, checking, all that kind of good stuff, pondering, whatever it is. The market don't like it, and they definitely don't like it a lot. Well, I said I'm playing inside the range on AMD. I'm holding PayPal. That was the initial idea, but we got more. It went more than the range. It gave you the range from 2 o'clock, and now it's breaking lower. I'm holding PayPal because it has not broken down toward the bottom just yet. The actual low is 67.5. 67.8 is the target for myself. That's where it turned. This trend broke right here at 67.8. So essentially just 2 trades, and both of them, the market continues to flush. We're going to get it for sure. And as I said, I'm just probably holding ACB into the close. The market is going downside. That's all there is. You got to be looking for the shorts. We're not going to the gates of hell, because the market is basically 0.08 to the downside. But you've got to remember that this was a strong market and it's a reversal. So this is a reversal, and all the longs from earlier today are a little bit trapped going into this number. Overnight lows, maybe your next stop. 21.85, 21.86 on the Nasdaq. So I have a target in PayPal. I might just let it trail in if we don't get a break of this 68 that it's at right now. So it's at 68 even, that first $0.50. If it holds there, I might put a trailing stop, but I'm not really seeing any bids that are trying to defend anything right now.
Powell's up, market down. I don't know. I mean, let's just cover a little bit more. We still have on now 30%. So this is a real big one. So now the TQs actually is going up into a big level for me. So we're pretty happy with where this is right now. We have breaking news with Adara.
Some news here that's actually not having anything to do with Powell. We do have the NTSB here, that is the National Transportation Safety Board, issuing an urgent safety recommendation with regards to some engines. So keep an eye on Boeing and GE both dropping here. NTSB recommending to address possible smoke entering cockpit. So keep an eye here on Boeing and GE, and back to you.
Boy, that TQ just broke through, man. I just went over to Joe because I know he likes to trade similarly to I. Right there, the TQs. Thank you, Joseph. All right, beer's on me, Joseph. All right, so 73 there, nice little dip by, or cover at 73 now as we get lighter and lighter on the positions again. So yeah, huge move to the downside there on the TQQs, and this is why I trade it, man. It's triple levered. So if you get a 1% move down in the futures, you're going to get 3 here, right? And so vice versa. So right now, down 0.6 versus the Nasdaq only down 0.2. So a triple levered ETF based on the movements that we see in the Nasdaq. So bye-bye right now to all of these stocks, man. And we're in this one as well. Let's go, man. Props it up. I saw Neil joined it, but we are right now short on AMD. That is $2 in the money. $2.30 in the money right now on Apple. $2 in the money on AMD. Man, oh man, do we love Fed days. So that's $2 here, $2 there, $1.50 here. It's raining down right now. We do have that money storm. We don't need the market to do something right now. It is doing something, and it is doing well right there. But we'll put the money storm out right now on the market and just start to cover a little bit more. I mean, as soon as Powell, you see her, I don't know what she's talking about right there. Manageable loans, okay. So that, wow, okay. There we go. Another move down here in the TQQ. So we better start taking some advantage of this as we are spiking lower and lower and lower. And oh boy, as Obi says right now, we'll hold it today. Big day alert, and that's it, right? You'll hear me talk like that when there is a big day. And today, for myself, is another one of those days. We've been really feeling it this whole week. So congratulations to most of you that potentially are having good days as well. Hey man, there'll be traders that'll be red, green, flat, all that kind of stuff on a day like today. And I just hope you're one of those, the first two. But whatever, no matter what, if you're back doing this game tomorrow, there will be more opportunities. And in the markets other than the U.S. markets. Tomorrow we are closed for Juneteenth. So happy Juneteenth, everybody.
Happy Juneteenth,
Get those barbecues out and get ready to rock and roll with your family. We've got lots of plans on this side. But now AMD's now $2 in the money. Apple's now $2.50 in the money. And the TQQs are $1.50 in the money. What's good over there?
I just covered at Target. Maybe the market is continuing to go lower, but PayPal just made a bottoming candle right in here. So I said if it got to 68, it was 68.5 that we got in there. Our stop was just slightly above it. Call it 15 or 20 cents. Slippage, maybe you get 3 cents slippage, maybe you get 5, doesn't really matter. But the second this bounced off to 68, I'm jumping out of it. I don't necessarily think this is going to fall all the way to the low. To keep in mind, PayPal had already dropped. It's not going to move more on the Fed than it's going to move when its business is being threatened by the stablecoin revolution that's going in. And whether you had PayPal or whether you had Visa, thank goodness I sold some XL. I'm glad I sold some XLF. And it was just, anyways, I've been a buyer of XLF. It was my pick on the Jimmy Carter day, everybody. And then when I started seeing all of this, Amazon and Walmart, now the stablecoin stuff, I'm like, XLF holds way too much of Visa and MasterCard for my liking, and I think I'm bearish on them. So I had to trim some of that, although I didn't put it into anything. Smart money would have been to just take that money and transfer it right into Coinbase, but instead I'm sitting in the cash. If I was smarter, you can't think of everything. Smart, that money should have gone right into Coinbase, which I also own, because I didn't really want it to be out of the market. I just wanted to be less exposed to these guys. Not that they're dead, but I don't like them as much as I did a week ago, that's for darn sure. So I'm out. I got it of AMD probably too early. Hopefully we got the right level out on PayPal. Only look for a couple of shorts. I'm anticipating Powell, usually around this time he might be done. I'm not reversing long into anything, but I wanted to be out before if we got to our targets, although could have given this one a little bit more room. Decided to play that inside, and it was wrong. If I'm looking on the way back to short it, it's either where the range was at the bottom, 126.6, or look for a similar curl, like topping tail at the original price. To try to keep it as simple as possible. K-Dub saying bull dip buy. I'm not touching Webull again until maybe next quarter. Let them report or something. Either it breaks down under its all-time low, which is like $9.50. Either that breaks, or it does a some kind of a rounded bottom to indicate that it's breaking out, or maybe their next earnings, or maybe some kind of catalyst. To me, there's nothing to do with it. I bought a quarter of what I wanted to get into, and I see no reason to add. I see no reason to dump. I'm just a holder right now.
All right, yeah, I was just looking at JP Morgan, man. That got up to 278 today. Oh my, that would be a good one. Here's the picture that Randy and I, so where you can find it at Instagram, at TraderTV. Sean, you could go find, how many followers? 8,200 followers right now, not too heavy. But right here, here's Randy and myself. Posted up, want to thank Joe for taking the picture there. So he wanted the credit there. So there's Joe. Thank you, Joe, for that and the renovation. That's the hole in the wall right there behind us that you may or may not. You can see sort of the green a little bit there. So shout out. Go find me on Instagram and on X. Shout out to Randall, the handle, and my main man over there, Joseph, with the photography credit there. We owe him some money for every time he takes a picture he needs. That's one more beer for Joe over there coming into play. But yeah, no, we're having a good time. So Apple out there at the lows. We're getting lighter and lighter, man. I said that at some point. Obviously, Powell will be leaving the podium, and then I could see this market maybe going back up to the upside. I feel like some of the things that he's been saying has been a little bit less hawkish than I'd thought, or sorry, a little bit less dovish than I'd thought, being more hawkish on some of the talk there. So we really covered pretty much the majority of these trades. So let's go back over and see what's up with Adara, as when he leaves, this market, I feel like, will rip if it's not already doing it.
So we have Powell saying here that the Fed will be restoring 2% inflation on a durable, sustainable basis, and the best thing they can do is deliver price stability and full employment. He also said, interestingly enough, they're going to have to keep rates high in order to get inflation all the way down, and that their policy is not very restrictive. He said the labor market is not crying out for a rate cut, and basically they're going to take confidence that inflation is coming down, and their confidence would be building without tariffs. Back to you.
All right, just seeing what people are saying about there in the chat. Right now. Okay, so nothing really happening right now. Yeah, I mean, we're posting those thirst traps up there. That's what we're doing.
Where's the thirst trap?
Randy,
yeah, you and Randy, of course. Yeah.
Naturally, right?
Obvious.
That's what my wife was like there. Thirst trap posted right there. She posted that up for me. All right, so 138 and change happening. And of course, you know, I go back 20 years with Randy, if not more. What am I talking about? 24, 25 years.
25.
With Randy. So
I'm 3, you're 02.
We really like that.
23, yeah. Was it 02?
And for those of you that know, we hired Neil, brought him in.
03. I'm 03.
You're 03. Yeah. You're way old. But here we go. AMD, Apple, and the TQs, man. Those are the names that were in on here. Yeah, exactly. Randy is the biggest thirst trap around here. That's for damn sure. That's why, man, if I can ever get pictures with Randy, let's keep going. There's actually one on my Instagram of Randy, Brendo, and I in front of the TSX. That's a while ago, so I'd have to go find that. And then one of me and Randy picking up brisket as well. So a couple of different things happening right there. Oh, yeah, whatever happened to this guy? Rory McIlroy has fallen off the face of the earth, man. One bad trade doesn't define your week. One rough week doesn't define your career. So he took out the Masters easily, and since then has been having a rough go of it. The guy shot 78 at TPC Toronto, Rory McIlroy. So if you are a trader that's maybe not having the greatest of luck, but you have that pedigree, you'll get right back off the mat and do it as well. So shout out to Rory McIlroy. Probably the second best golfer. I mean, Scheffler obviously is the first, and then I probably would go with Rory as number 2. But okay, that's it, man. We're going to wait for Powell to come off. The market is going back to the downside, so we're all good, man. We've just covered the majority of all of these positions. I'm in 15% of this. I'm in nothing of AMD, really. And then Apple, I'm still in about 10%. So the largest position is the futures trade, and we had just sort of put that on right there with the TQs. We'll see if this one wants to continue to fall out, but right there, nice trade. AMD, P&L number 1 again on the show today. So that's 3 days in a row that we've really hit AMD quite hard and put it on the leaderboard there like a Rory McIlroy. But there it is right there. Good trade. We just put it on kind of not even just for fun. It was at VWAP, and I like the short. I'm not really sure what gave me that much confidence, but it's more the hold where the money's coming from, not the size of the order. We were just able to hold it all the way. Normally I'll take like double or triple the position and just get it all out like right into here, like this level. Which we did. We got a lot out there, but then it was able to hold for some of these lower moves that really, upped the net. And the same thing with Apple, right? I mean, we talked about it. Neil already did his what do you call it, the midday lesson on that with Apple. But my lesson would just be, it's a level that I wrote down. It came right into it. We held it, and then there it goes to the downside. That's going to be PL2. And then the Qs, and then MRVL. Actually, MRVL, I forgot about MRVL. That's a good trade as well. We can wait for 74 on MRVL again. We did once. Like, how much did that break by? Like, what exactly happened here? That broke by, yeah, so we got out, I think my order was probably 94. It went to 91 right there on MRVL before busting up $1.50. But again, that's, like, I don't even think I was here when that happened. I didn't even realize we were in and out of it until I came back from getting this coffee. But
I was here, but I stopped out earlier. What time was
tried
that?
to trade that? 1:30.
Oh, no. I traded before.
Oh, yeah, okay, well.
It was before.
Anyways, too bad. But MRVL's a good name, looking at the right name.
Well, I mean, you know what's weird? I'm dead flat on MRVL and I'm dead flat on NVIDIA. I'm almost flat on MRVL, slightly up on MRVL. But it was a similar thing. Like, I saw this as, I mean, it just looked like an A++ trend break long. I don't know. Like, MRVL, strong stock, big trend down. I'm like, let's go break the trend line. And then the sellers just were taking control of the stock. And they really, now it's just not doing anything. I don't know if the sellers are in control, but certainly, like, the buyers have kind of gone to the wayside. But that's a setup you got to be able to take. I was just, okay, I'm going to go over to show you guys PayPal because I was just looking at this. It's been holding trend down. So sometimes you take a trend break. Sometimes you try to, when it makes a trend, if I was looking to go back into the short, I hate that Powell is going to be ending soon because this is not the time to get into something right when it's threatening to break the downtrend that it's been in because that's where you could really get snapped up. I'm going to stay away from PayPal unless after he leaves we resume, then I'll try to go back in on that trend. And then for AMD for myself, I said, let it put another topping tail candle. There was the bottom of the range where I covered. Comes right back in, topping tail candle at that same area. Tried to snag it on the way back at 60s. I'll leave the order in if I get picked up with a stop at the prior bar high. So similar trade, different price. Like last time it was here. This time I'd try it there. Understanding, of course, that Powell leaves the podium, and if we rally because he leaves the podium, then my stop is not moving in this particular case, and I would wait till the volume-weighted average price. I haven't traded since the open on Circle, but what's crazy is remember when the market was breaking down? It's like, oh, even Circle's trying to break. Yeah, no, right back to the high. So Circle right back into the high of the day. This is the strongest stock out there. Again, this is why we were looking short in weak stocks. The converse of that, when everyone's like, why are you guys looking short? Well, shorting weak stocks, not strong ones. And if you're looking for the long, then if you're bullish, then join the Circle party. That's the one that's going, or go long in Coinbase. I'm going to presume hopefully Coinbase is still going up when I say that because I hadn't checked in a bit. But join something that's strong. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about in trading, is trying to determine what the trend is to the best of your ability and join it. That's what trading usually is for day traders most of the time. Every now and then you can play. You can play a reversion. I do like them. Just make sure that you have a specific strategy for it. And one of the things that I said when I was talking about Apple is the best trade for me in Apple all ended up being when it did mean reversions. Like when it broke a trend. Like I was shorting levels, but then it broke a trend, VWAP. Then it gave a lower high, VWAP again. Then it goes VWAP. Like all of those trades on the other side, when it ended the uptrend was when you were going to be at your best. So that's what you got to be thinking about, everybody, to the best of your abilities. Just to go over some names that we didn't really cover. Tesla did eventually work off 325. Not that I liked it in the middle, but I'm not going to complain about PayPal and AMD. You could have more or less shorted anything, I guess, and it would have worked as long as it wasn't Circle. But Tesla threatening to lose the bid here. Only about 17 minutes when we get an early look on the imbalances. Powell's still on the podium, so I don't want to make another move unless it's AMD where I like it. We've already gone 2 for 2 here, and I'm not going to press it this late. The last time on the Fed, I do remember this, the last time on the Fed, I remember taking a trade right before we got off the podium, and it was like, that was the one that turned into the losing trade. So make sure you get it where you like it. And apparently we're going to go to Adara here.
Keep an eye here in the market. It's actually not about Powell right now. We do have Trump announcing that he's meeting in 1 hour here on Iran and Israel. Can't tell who he's meeting with as of right now based on this report. But either way, apparently there will be a meeting on Iran and Israel in 1 hour. Back to you.
All right, I mean, just real quickly here, Trump is talking about Iran now, saying that the regime may fall, things like that. So if that's what's going to wind up happening, look what's happening to the U.S. dollar right now, straight to the downside now as we talk a little bit more other than stocks. But there goes the U.S. dollar to the downside. And look at the relationship here between the U.S. dollar and the market. So as the market starts to blast higher here, we do have the DXY making a move. I may start quoting the DXY on here so I can watch to see what it's doing versus the market as well. I mean, there it goes now. Again, Iran may want to meet, and we may do that. So more uncertainty on all of that. But okay, so look at the futures on that.
Powell don't matter,
yeah,
Trump does.
Nice move. Yeah, I mean, we've been saying, Neil, man, I've been saying for a couple of years now that the Fed really has no difference and doesn't matter to anybody other than, I guess, the grand scheme of things. But intraday trading, it's been pretty good trade with Powell right now. We will continue to watch CPI prints and things like that. But for right now, to Neil's point, yeah, man, it looks like the market is much more interested in what's going on with Iran, Iraq, and all of that kind of talk there in the Middle East. Look at what oil's doing right now, back to the downside a little bit there. Little surprised at that move. I would have thought maybe that's oil services. I mean, I guess we can look at USO. That might be a little bit of a better picture. No, still the same thing. Light sweet crude right now. Let's look at the July contract to see what that's doing. So that's just, yeah, so there's the nice move down there on that conflict. Again, oil heading lower. Maybe the talk is somewhat positive. Oh, he has a meeting in the Situation Room soon, says Sir Donald Trump right there. So he'll be meeting, I guess, with Mike the Situation over there. Shout out to Jersey Shore, as Jim Tan Laundry and Donald Trump going to be meeting in the Situation Room coming up very, very soon. But Papa Powell's pushing P right there. He's almost done right there. This dude's going to be asking a question saying, do you like my yellow tie or not? And then we will have a reaction to that play as well. I actually have a yellow tie similar to that. Are those pineapples on there? Ooh, you shrewd gentlemen. You guys all know what pineapple means. Nice move there by that dude right there with the pineapple tie. Right there. So, yeah, okay, we're doing it. You're welcome, Honest Fitness there. Yeah, Jim Tan Laundry, good reference. Hey, we're here to host, trade, and entertain. So I hope I'm doing some of that. I know I've got the trading part. Hopefully I can have everything else for you guys as well. But yeah, just more covering, man. We covered some more there. Maybe you get an opportunity to cover some more TQs here. We didn't want to reshort. I don't really want to do anything now until Powell is gone. We talked about MRVL sort of in depth, but SMCI would be another play to look at. Nice move to the high side right there. We talked about this with Brian Shannon in his talk about possibly breaking out there, whoopsies, on SMCI as well. So that could be a good break. And then today's news, when we talk about stablecoin and the Genius Act, we saw Coinbase, nothing but upside love right now as well. Up 15%. Adair, it might be time to do that, update our little Jimmy Carter Day buys right now. Then maybe we can think about starting some new ones and just go with, because the half a year is up. Like we can end it 6 months in. So whatever that day was, it's getting close, or we can hold it all year. It doesn't matter to me. We can add the positions.
We never said where it was ending.
Was it 1 year, that whole thing?
Did we say a year? I don't even remember, man. I'm not even sure we set an end date.
I'm not sure. I was just thinking like half year, and then we could. Well,
because you know what? It's a good time to do so, because a lot of things have changed. Like if you have a crypto name, then you've got what's going on with the stable coins. You got the geopolitical, all of that. So I think it makes a lot of sense there for sure. And just want to get to in the chat here, Filippo, and Los Pollos Hermanos, Circle is the new Apple in terms of price.
Huh? It's 190?
Well, because it's a fun little catch there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 195. So is that exactly the same? Or did it pass Apple just now?
No, Apple's 200, isn't it? Well, wait, I'm short Apple. What am I talking about? Yeah, 195.85.
Oh, it's close. For a split second.
Well, probably will pass it if this market goes down. What is Circle's price?
It got to 190. It got to 197.09.
All right.
It's at 195.50. It's at 195.50.
All right, new poll. Will Circle close higher, or which stock price would be higher at close? How about
At
that?
4 o'clock?
That's easy, right? What stock price will be higher at close, Circle or Apple?
The problem
It's
is
not bad.
Yeah, the problem is if you're bearish on the market, if Circle drops a little bit, it's going to drop a lot.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, that's why it's a vote, right? I mean, whatever you think.
Like, I hope Circle closes higher for everyone that's long Circle.
Yeah, of course.
But I
more
think
people care about Circle.
Yeah, more people are going to care about
Well, right now, Apple's winning, right? So, whatever you guys think. Right now, Apple's winning by $1. Right now, Circle does turn around.
And now $2.
Yeah, exactly. So off of 200 right there, we get as high as 197. Look, man, Circle's only up 30% right now. And what this is come over here, Andre. This is Circle's best day.
What an IPO.
And wow.
What an IPO.
So we did well on that IPO, but not as well as. No, Circle was the big one. Yeah, Circle was that IPO that I said was the greatest of all time. But it looking like it's going there right now, up to 190. There's a triple from IPO price right now is Circle.
The only reason
wow.
Why I shake my head is for all the times that we take these like longs on the opening day, and you're like, wow, what a great long that was on the opening day, and yet never actually buy it at that price in the personal
in our
account.
own accounts, yeah.
I just don't do it. Even the ones I like. Like, I liked ARM, and I didn't buy that one either. So it's like, whatever. Although that's been a good buy.
I feel like Voyager is going to be a mistake not buying some of that.
That was another one. Let's check that one out when we get back from Adara. Powell's still going.
Yeah, Powell was just asked here why there aren't any rate hikes forecasted. And so really interesting look there. But I also heard this is going to be the last question. So keep an eye. Fed Chair Powell should be leaving the podium soon. Back to you.
I was saying about an hour 20, or about just over an hour. He got it 2:30. I was saying 3:15-ish. Now it's 3:20 right there. There goes Circle. So obviously we don't have that poll up yet. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no one's going to bet. Oh, it's up. It's
up?
Okay. It's up. 185 votes. Get to 1,000. Right now, 70% saying it's Circle, but that's only 197 votes. I mean, there's thousands of you guys watching, so get it in. It's a good thing there's no stakes on this, because if Circle falls to the downside, it's kind of easier money to start betting on Apple. You're going to see Apple start to creep up. Every single dollar move down that you see Circle go. I was just pulling up the IPO today. CAI, not CIA, CAI. Yeah, it looks like that one would have been good too. If you like right off the open going up $2 clean, fair enough. If you held it all the way, then that's not the way to go. But IPOs, I don't want to call them undefeated, but they're looking fantastic. The last few opens have been really good, as long as you make sure you get out. Powell has now left the building. And remember, we did have possible positive developments in terms of talks. So we'll see. I think that coming from Trump, plus Powell leaving the podium, I'm not looking to go back into any shorts based on that. But yeah, these IPOs have been fantastic. Goldman Sachs has decided after 3.5 years that they're going to be going back into the SPAC game. I don't know if that makes the market look more frothy. I kind of feel a little bit of that. I'll be staying away from any SPACs personally, but that's just me. So I canceled. I was going to take that shot, one last chance here at AMD, but the plan was never to continue direction after Powell left the podium. I want to see it shake out. Maybe we get a shot at our original entry price, and that sets up a little bit better. So I'm going to keep eyes on Circle here.
So what was it? Which way did you vote on that?
Oh, shoot. Well, I voted for Apple. I just took the whole Circle had a red candle. You know me, so I voted.
All right, I'm going to vote Circle. So we'll go Apple, Circle. Where are you guys voting? Go have your chance. Your look on there. I am going Circle longer and a higher price than Apple at close. Right now, Apple winning, but Circle obviously has all of the moves, and it moves like Adara.
Yeah, I don't know if it moves like me, but keep an eye here in these markets because they're moving higher. One of the last things that Powell said in a response here, during this conference was that he says certainly a rate hike is not the base case at all. So not looking to hike rates. Market pushed a little bit higher. He's now off the podium, and back to you.
And of course, remember, after market today, we're going to be able to review all of these moves. We'll talk in depth about. There's so many things that we missed today that I know we got to go over, and we'll cover some of that. Like, do we even mention what happened to Uber midday? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so Uber took it on the chin. You've got Waymo obviously doing a good move. I'm sad about this because I was setting this up, and I get it. This is a wedge on the daily in Uber that you could probably swing in either direction, but my intention was that this was going to be a break to the upside. That's what I wanted to see have happen. That's the trade that I was more interested in. If Uber could have broken this wedge to the upside on the daily, clearly it's gone the other direction. I'm not shorting the stock. I'm not selling my shares in Uber over it, but I think maybe trend down to at least another test of 82 tomorrow, and hopefully that can hold, because if it doesn't, I think you're going back to the 200 period. The good news is it did make its bounce right there on the 15-minute, right off the 50-period moving average and prior support. So whenever you're seeing a stock fall on news, remember it's a liquidity vacuum, and a lot of times the algos will decide to make liquidity at the most obvious place that they can. So if you happen to, I wasn't watching this at that particular time, kind of too busy eating that delicious sandwich. But if you're watching a stock like this and you're looking to pick a bottom, zoom it out and just go for, in a moment like that, if you're inclined to go for it, you don't have to try to pick a bottom, but if you ever are, zoom out the chart, see the most obvious level, and just give it a chance to get there. And if it does, that's where you can take your chance. So about 25 minutes to go till we get those imbalances in there. Apple is, I now have an Apple chart up because why not? It's chilling at 196. I mean, I now have Apple and Circle up just for this, along with AMD and PayPal, the ones that we were trading. And I said, I don't know if I'm going to get back into it. Apple 96, Circle 95. But that's just going to come down to, it's not going to, you know what, it doesn't matter what Apple does. Honestly, that bet's meaningless for Apple.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Circle is either, like, it's either going to break out this top and see 200, or it's probably pulling back in underneath 190. I just don't think it's closing up here. Stocks don't typically make this kind of a rally and just close inside of the range for the last hour. It seems a little bit unlikely to me. So congratulations to everybody on Circle. I just can't get over this stock. I'm mad at myself over this.
The one thing to, like, all we're hearing is, like, Trump wants victory in Iran, and that means no nuclear weapons. Well, Iran has already said that they're not playing that game. They're not going to let in the inspectors. They're not going to, you know, we all know that they have that bunker there that is miles underground, and Israel doesn't. Baby. Yeah, no, exactly. And Israel doesn't have the power to do anything about that. So they'll need the U.S. air bombers and whatnot to go in there and get rid of that. And
I think they will.
I hope that's what it looks like. It's leading towards that bunker buster.
It just feels.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, I just feel like that's the escalation that takes it to the next level. If the U.S. goes on like an offensive, needing that. Right. I think if that happens, it feels like we're headed toward that. I hope that's not true. And this is a horrible thing to say, but it's the truth. That kind of a dip could provide some interesting buying opportunities for us.
I'm not even sure there'd be a dip, to be honest with you, but
if there was a dip on that, typically speaking, it's not a fun thing to say. It's just the truth of how the market goes when it comes to geopolitics and when it comes to conflicts and war. Is usually it's a good time. It's a good time to be in there buying on the panic morning, if and when it does happen. And I'm trying to say that as like somberly as possible, understanding that it'll be it's horrible for everybody. But you know, we've got to be able to call it like it is. This is a trading show, and we talk about the market and investing, and that's what we're all about here, everybody. So it looks like we are headed right back in, I think, to the downside. Circle's not. It doesn't seem to care. Let me go back over AMD. AMD, not quite. I mean, you could force it, but I wanted it back up at that top. Doesn't look like it wants to get to that top. However, as I look up, how are you not breaking down? Whatever. It's a double bottom here on Intel at the opening range top. Technically speaking, that's a really good flat bottom break level. I might just take the break and give it a couple cents and see if we doesn't just absolutely flush.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, it's about the 25 level. You guys can see that right here. It's a little too tempting not to take that kind of a flat bottom break.
So what I was trying to get at when I was talking a little bit there, and Neil and I just covered it there, was that what I was saying was that this conflict, all I'm hearing are negative things here from the United States. And I was just going to say, I'm leaning to hold these shorts. So there's the cover again on some more shares as we touched the 200 period, then we came right back in. This is going to be, you know, your big trade alert of the day on the futures right there on the using the TQQ instrument just to get right down to it. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm here trading. I've got 3 positions on Apple, AMD. AMD's the newest one. I mean, the newest one is the futures, but let's just start to cover a little bit more down here as we only now have 20 more minutes until the imbalance. We're sitting there bidding 29s. Come on, give it to us. There it goes right there. Nice little move back in on that one. So yeah, there it goes, man. Nice downside play there. AMD, Apple. So like right now, I know Neil's flat, but this is $2 plus $1.50. That's $3.50 plus another $1.30 right there. So, you know, right now we're in the money about $5 and just trying to watch to see where the trading is going from here. And honestly, man, it looks like it's going a lot lower to me. We just had a nice rejection of VWAP and the 200 period in the Nasdaq. Same thing for everything. There's AMD. It's the same trade again. If I wasn't already short, I would have put some more on there, but the fact that we are short, we decided to sort of hold on to that. Palantir again, you know, a dip by opportunity in Palantir. I don't think we had written down 137 today on our notes, you know, the lowest it went. And again, like if you're looking for some trade ideas, just honestly, just go back the last, whoopsies, go back that zero hedge. Go back the last couple days and check out the sticky note and some of the top ideas that we had on there right now. Here we go. Water wall's coming now. You guys go find that yourself. There's MRVL, 71 to 72 long. Palantir, actually, we had 136. My bad, not 137 long written there. Apple, 197.50 short. So the 2 trades that hit today are the 2 trades that we have, and they're some of the biggest ones. And then yesterday, if you check out yesterday's sticky note, we had the AMD 127 long. That was absolutely huge, right? We had the Big Bear AI 415 long. That was huge. We had the Apple short 98.50. Those go perfect. And then the day before that as well, if you go down into here, we had the Palantir 140 long. Just go back and look on Monday. Palantir 140 long. Go look at the AMD 120 long. So if you're just looking for some ideas, make sure you do scan that QR code right there. Become a member of Real Trading. That's the first thing there. The best prop firm out there, period. Real Trading. Go be a member with us there. And if you want to, I'm actually going to call up the top traders in Real Trading. And look, I don't know all those numbers that we show you from Trade the Pool. I believe those are all simulated numbers, but we can ask next time those guys are on, because the one for all is to get people funded. It's not, those aren't funded traders. But right into here we go. These are what's making money at Real Trading. It's your money show right now at Real Trading. These are the top traders here at Real Trading. Yesterday we had Amex, Nasdaq in New York, an individual 14,000 US dollars. These are all US denominated dollars. Of course, Canada and the CSE making moves there as well. Nasdaq in New York coming in there. Normally there's like some randos down here. So it's not actually that exciting near the bottom. 3 grand, 3 grand, 4 grand. Look, man, you make 4 grand in a day US. I mean, that is quite great. I don't know individual names of these traders or anything like that. There's over 3,000 traders at Real Trading, but we want to give a big shout out to Real Trading and the business and the company that we've been with for 20 plus years. So what's up, Tia and everybody there in the chat? Thank you so much for joining us here on what was another monumental day. I'll go out roughly the same P&L today as we were yesterday. So I feel, you know, that we're like in that zone as well right now. So shout out to all of you that are printing there today. Just keep getting out. There's only now 15 minutes left before the imbalances, and I think they could be, I don't know if they're going to be spicy.
Well, it's already spicy for some small cap names.
Yeah, okay.
It's spicy. Archer is an early look buy of 3 million shares. QBTS is an early buy of 1.2 million shares. I mean, you'll see GM there's for 1.8 million, but I'm talking about the ones that people actually Maybe people trade GM. I don't know. Maybe they do. CCL 1.2 million to the buy side. BBAI 1,987,000, effectively 1 million shares to the buy side. So I think you got to look at some small cappers. It looks like those are the biggest names out there in terms of the imbalance on an early look. But at 350, who knows? At 350, Nvidia could pop up for like 5 million or 10 million or something crazy. You never know. One thing to keep in mind: tomorrow's a holiday, but Friday is triple witching, and it's also the mid-year rebalancing for the S&P 500. So the close on Friday should be much bigger numbers than these. I don't wonder if some of this, and the reason why you're seeing big numbers going into 350 early, could be because of what's happening on Friday. So watch out for Archer, QBTS, and BBAI would be the ones that currently have a number.
BBAI?
Yeah, it's a million to the buy side on BBAI.
Ooh.
And then Archer is a buy, and then QBTS is also a buy. They're all buy imbalances. Let's go to Adara.
Keep an eye here on the market. Worth noting that some analysts, including Gunlodge here of Double Line Capital, chiming in after the Fed talk, and specifically Fed Chair Jerome Powell's comments, saying that he believes the Fed is more likely to cut interest rates towards the end of this year and into 2026 as expected. Also echoing that it's clear that the Fed thinks the next move in interest rates is lower. Fed Chair Powell basically said, like, point blank at the end of the meeting, they're not considering a hike right now. It's also worth noting that Trump did just make some comments as well about Israel and Iran, saying that they will not need to enter the war if Israel, quote, does a good job, and that they're looking for total victory and no nuclear weapon from Iran. That's what's happening here. I just keep an eye on this market. Lower highs, lower lows for the Qs. So I guess a little bit of a base right now, forming around 528. Back to you.
Okay.
Yeah, and well, I mean, yeah, the Nasdaq essentially holding just above positive. It's teetering back and forth. I mean, the ES is doing exactly the same thing. So we're going from red to green, sort of back and forth here. Tom H saying, look at ASTS. I'm trying to figure, why is ASTS up 11% today? We know why. I know why Circle's up. Look, I know why Coinbase is up. I don't know why ASTS is up 11%. I know it's been on a bit of a rally. Don't remember if there was a specific thing this morning. I don't think it made the watch list or anything like that. Congratulations to you on Astis. This is maybe another leg here. It's just a stock that it's hard to think fundamentally about this. I know Michael Noss talked about this in the aftermarket show on Friday, where sometimes you just got to be able to grit your teeth, and when you're trading momentum, go with the momentum. So it's with you right now on ASTS, no questions about it. Another consolidation breakout into another fresh high for ASTS. Yeah, good luck. I think you got a good one. Holy Circle just broke the high of the day again.
Did it? Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well,
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, yeah, kind of. Yeah, close.
All right. Yesterday on the market recap show, we had our good friend Brian Shannon. He was asking me if I like weather maps. I said yes. All right. So this is Toronto right now.
I don't like that
My
map.
game time is 8 p.m. tonight. So let me hit this. I haven't done this yet. So let's go. Here comes the rain coming through at 5 p.m. This is where we are located, the lovely blue dot. There's 6 p.m. Here's 7 p.m. as we are in our warm up. And as you can see, the rain is getting worse at that time. So unfortunately, I will have to tell my lovely daughter that there may not be any baseball
Boo.
tonight, and she will be quite upset. Although she does prefer playing the rep baseball with her with the girl team, but that's not tonight. That's this weekend. But there we go. Yeah, man.
Our ump didn't even show
rain. Look at
yesterday.
that. Look at that. Just like, can we take a look at that? Right there. Nice move on the weather map. Get out of here. Weather Network, lying. It's probably gorgeous outside. I just told Lars that, well, first of all, Neil will be joining us after the recap show, I guess,
Yes, sir.
as well. Adara, are you coming out for a drink? Yeah. Yes, she says. Ramin, you coming out for a drink? Yes.
Ramin
perfect.
in the building.
All right.
Let's go.
Huh? Yes? Yes. I'm not going either.
I was already celebrating. I
I'm not
heard
going either.
yes as well.
I'm not going.
You didn't say guess. You said
How about
yes.
Fabian? You coming out, man? Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Fabian and free drinks.
Fabian.
He's up for free drink.
Yes, Fabian is also coming. Andre, you coming? I know it's late notice. All right. He has a kid, yeah. I have 3 of them. All right, no, but no. Shout out to Andre there. Yeah, we didn't even. We're going out with the campus group, so if you are part of,
welcome.
yeah.
Well, I guess they're probably not watching because they're on their way here or already here, I guess.
They probably never watch, but shout out to the no, they do. Shout out to the campus program there. It'll be interesting to meet some of those traders and hear some stories on how the campus program is going, and I will report back to you guys tomorrow. But I can only say, well, if the rain changes things, maybe I'll be able to stay a little bit later on there. So I told the group that Mr. Joseph, myself, and Fabian, I guess, will be leaving. Are you switching the closing show, Fabian? Huh? Okay, so I'll see you at 4. You'll come with Neil then.
We'll all head up after.
Right here at the Firkin, you're coming too.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes. We're just going up the stairs.
Yeah. You knew about it, didn't you, Adara?
Adara knows.
Did you know about it before?
I knew about it. I have like some things. No, I knew it was happening. Okay, I remember.
Yo, that's cat.
I want to make sure I know where it is now because I didn't realize y'all were coming. So now I'm like questioning my life.
First of all, Adara, you forgetting is cat because you forget nothing.
Okay, I did know.
I'm just saying.
Knew. Okay, I knew. I didn't realize you guys were coming. I knew you and Joe had your existing bet. So then I got confused. I thought it was a different event.
You thought it was related to the bet.
Because
okay.
I think that's fair. I think it's a fair thing.
That's fair. Yeah. That makes sense. She thought it. Yeah, but even when we settle the bet, man, Adara, you come, I'll buy you a drink. I mean, we're
they got a pool table over there. We play some pool.
So I was like, what is happening? And I didn't know that it was the same. I knew the campus thing was happening. I knew the bet thing was happening. I didn't realize they were both happening tonight. And then I thought there was some overlap.
Adara, if you're ever out with me, you're not paying for anything, okay? So you don't have to worry about that. We're all going out tonight. I don't know for how late.
Also, I know Joe's not going to pick the Firkin. He'll want to go.
No, Joe can pick whatever club we would go wherever he wants, man. When me and this guy go to Miami.
Want the Firkin.
No. Oh yeah, no. I'm not buying you drinks on the beach. When we were at South Beach, man,
yo, let's fly down and go. Let's go to Live. Let's go. Let's
that's
Let's go to Live.
That's where we stayed. I stayed at that Fontainebleau there, and it was some kind of I guess it was a rum punch drink. It was $20-something US.
They wanted $1,100 a man to get in the club the night that we were there for a buddy's bachelor party. All I'm saying is this: it wasn't technically my bachelor party. Like I was getting married the same year, but it was our boys. I was just also there. But it was kind of simultaneous. Both of us were like, yeah, we're doing this. And then everyone else was like, no. I'm like, well, then who gets to make the determination? Like, we're the ones getting married this year, and y'all don't want to pony up.
Joe does not want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, Joe saw Friday night at Freddy's. What's that show? What's that? Five Nights.
5 nights at Freddy's.
5 nights at Freddy's. I went to see that in the theater with my son there. It's those animatronics, and it just reminded me of Chuck E. Cheese there.
Look that up.
Where it's too scary probably for Aaron. I don't know what.
It's it's
real life.
Adult animated.
Yeah. Show it on the screen, man. Just go to images.
Yeah, I'm just going over here.
Click on images, man.
There you go. Images.
Yeah, look. See these guys. See those guys. They're just little. See,
that looks innocent enough.
Yeah. No, but I don't know what the rating is. I don't think it's not that scary. Like my kid got it on Oculus. There's an Oculus 5 Nights at Freddy's game. It's pretty fun.
Did Gia like it?
Gia, I don't think has seen it.
Oh, okay.
It's not gory or anything. It's just maybe nightmarish. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're these animatronics that come to life. They don't. It's not like gory or anything like that.
My daughter's very hit or miss when it comes to scary stuff.
Yeah. It's not. It's you know what a good way of putting it. I think it jump scares.
Oh, she hates that.
Yeah. So that's if you're like, oh my God, like that kind of thing.
That's gonna be a no.
All right. Oh, there was some super chats. By the way, sorry. Joe messaged me a while ago and was like, man, there's some super chats up in here that I think that we've missed. So I hope that you guys are still on board here. I apologize completely, man. Did he at least say good afternoon? I'm not sure, but if that was responding to Powell. So I'll say good afternoon to you, Chris. Good afternoon, Chris. $1.40 on that AMD trade. Great job on that one for John M, man. I mean, we're still in that trade as well. It's $1.40 right now. Neil and Sean, do you guys think the imbalances will shoot Circle to space? Let's have a look at that right now. Circle is an NYSE stock.
It's New York, yeah.
New York, so it'll be on the inbound. So I'll look at that in a minute.
I didn't see
for Adara, there it is, a Shirley Temple, and for Neil's Japanese whiskey. You might need to give a little more than $10 for those, but you don't have to give anything. We'll make sure that we drink the finest whiskey. I don't drink anyways, really. I'm just going to have a nice, cool and refreshing beer, most likely, at this place. I don't know. I guess I can go for.
I mean, it's hot, right? So like you put
tequila, something, margarita.
I might go like a
kinda
G&T or
base,
something
but
simple.
I don't want to think something too sugary.
No. I got to pick up my daughter.
It's like when I have the coffee. It's like I don't put the sugar in that. Okay, just quickly on that super chat, and thanks Joe and everybody for reminding us about that. Circle. Let's just sort it alphabetically. That may be the easiest way.
I found it.
Oh, did you find what is? Okay.
It's an early look, 378,000 to the buy side.
Okay.
So that's for Circle. Understand that it's done. Shoot, where'd my chart go for Circle? It's done a ton of volume here today. 55 million shares in volume, and the imbalance is 380,000.
All right.
Like, I'm not saying that look, man, it might move it. Don't at me if it ends up moving it. But a 380,000 imbalance in a stock, it's done 55 million shares, is not that big of a deal. It would need to be a million. It would have to be a million. Circle, it almost got to 200. 199.50 I have as the high for Circle just now. So, yeah, it's still the strongest stock in the market today. Coinbase is going to be pretty strong as well. I think it was right to stop trading PayPal. Let's look for some continuation tomorrow. Oh, check that, on Friday for PayPal, for Uber, for Square. Although I will say this about Square. Very different price action for Block. For whatever reason, this one came all the way back and PayPal didn't. So I'm going to favor shorts on Friday. If I trade one of these two, it'll be in PayPal. We're able to scalp it and just kind of get one in and get that one trend. But the other one here, maybe it's just a trap breakout on Block. Worth trying to think about why it recovered better than PayPal. Maybe people just think it's. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to speculate. Price action has told you that it is. I'll just go with that and favor shorts in PayPal, not Square. Nvidia broke back higher. I think it made some sense not to go into some of the reloads that I was looking for. They didn't set up perfectly. In AMD, where I liked it, this is where I wanted the reload entry. That's no good. It went as far against me as it would have won. So I don't like that trade at all. And it never got back to our original entry price. And as I said, PayPal, which is the other name I was looking to trade, it just never set up another short. Well, the argument is, I guess I could have gone long this one, but I'm bearish on it. So I didn't take it when it broke the trend to the long side. And you know what? I think you take that trend break, you're stopped out before it eventually works. So if you made that work, congratulations. Someone the other day, I had a trend breakout on Reddit that lost, and someone was like, thanks for making me money, because they held it. I'm like, okay, great. I mean, I didn't. I lost on the trade. And I think I would have lost if I took that trend reverse. So 4 minutes to go to the imbalances. I'll probably have the eyeballs on, as long as Archer is still up here. Yeah, nope, never mind. Archer's gone. Now only 900,000, but QBTS, now the biggest of the small cappers, and I don't see Big Bear AI anymore. Yeah, that's gone down to 700,000. It was 1 million, now 700,000. It's QBTS that's still okay. That's the one that's still holding as a large imbalance for now.
Okay, so, oh man, I wanted to mention something and now I can't remember. Oh yeah, okay, we went over the imbalances. People asked about CoreWeave. So anything on the Nasdaq won't be out. That was what it was, until 350. So that's what we're waiting for. We talk about how key 350 is for these imbalances. I'm sorry that it hasn't been super exciting since 2 o'clock. We did have that push right there at 2 o'clock where the market made some highs of the afternoon, of course, and then we've just sort of been fading ever since that has came out, right? And so, that Fontainebleau there, Ian, is bleu, B-L-U-E, blue. I think that's, when I was there, I think they filmed some Scarface there. That's a pretty epic hotel. And those of you there, Ian says he's just blocks away from it. That's actually
it's a great steakhouse, man.
Yeah, that's actually where I met, and it's on my. I have no idea how to search my Instagram, but it's actually where I met the Playmaker. So he came up to me there, and we actually had like a little bit of not a lunch date, but we met over lunch, and we sat in the hotel there, and he was a police officer. It's gonna take me forever. Here, oh yeah, by the way, check out who sponsored my daughter's team this past year. It's Trader TV Live, baby! So, Joe, if you need any sponsors of your show, of the show on your team right there, Here we go, Home Depot. There's Neil and I back. Oh, there's Randy again. Anyways, go check it out. Here's Neil and I in a throwback, man. This must have been throwback to 5 years ago, right there where I had some more hair there. Neil looking more serious. You look like a robot up in here, right?
I always look like a robot.
But yeah, shout out to that picture 5 years ago.
The gray here.
Neil locked in there again. Oh, this is a real throwback. This is a showback right here. This goes, I don't even sure how long. This is when the show hadn't even started yet, man. This is green screens again. So
I used to wear shorts on the regular in the summer. I don't know. I think I gotta get back to that, man.
Yeah, man, you're looking young there, boy.
we were.
All right. Yeah, this is what we do at High Park.
We were
trophies
younger.
bigger than the girls. But anyways, just going back. Let's get back to the mark. Yo, what's up, Mr. O'Leary? What's up now, O'Leary? That was fun when he came through, hoping that he comes back into the building as well. Wearing the double watch here, or what, my guy? He was like, one watch for Miami, one watch for New York time there. And I was just like, just go minus 3 hours. But okay, here we go. We are getting ready for those imbalances to come through. I'll try to go back down, and I do want to find the playmaker on here as well, because that was pretty awesome. And this is when Brendo and I, I mean, I just can't stop scrolling. This is when Brendo and I were doing the podcast there. Brendo, man, why so serious here, bro? Right there, there's my lovely wife, of course. Oh, here's my brother. Talk about, this is my wedding day. You want to talk about looking younger, I feel like right into there. My brother is now completely bald, by the way. Shout out to...
Did he shave it all?
Yeah, he what's up, Randy? Brisket, it is brisket time, isn't it? Right there as well. But anyways, okay, with only 45 seconds left.
Don't let Sean's brother drive on a road trip. Not that
don't let him drive ever.
Not that you're ever in that situation.
Well, I don't know.
I've only ever feared for my life once while in a car.
My brother is Ryan.
That's all I'm saying.
Is that
Ryan Felipe? That's a good.
Is that how you pronounce that last name?
That's a compliment.
right there. Ryan Reynolds.
Mike's good people's though. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just not getting in a car with that. I'm not getting in a car with that guy.
He actually messaged me today. I was like, "Yo, let's go golfing." So maybe he was watching the show and figured out that it was golfing day. But yeah, any
all right,
day.
so 10 seconds. Just
anyone's
over
in the
10
GTA
seconds
want to go golfing, and you want to pay for it, hit me up. Okay, here we go. 8 seconds left. Now you have the imbalances up. I got
QBTS is already starting to pair, so this one might come out as absolutely nothing burger here. So kind of unfortunate. Nvidia's 7.8 million to buy, Google 5.3 million to sell, Amazon 3 million to the sell side, Apple 2.9 to the buy side, Microsoft 1.6 million to the buy side, Palantir 1.3 million to the buy side. What else we got there that's big? Maybe you care about Plug, you don't, I don't think. Snapchat maybe. Who cares? But the big ones, a headliner, Nvidia 7.7 million buy, Alphabet sell 5 million, Amazon sell 3 million, Apple 2.9 buy. That's incredibly mixed, but overall buy because NVIDIA is a monster. 2.5 billion to the buy side. Nasdaq 860, Dow 760, Mag 7 880. I mean, I'd call that mixed because you're getting a little bit of everything. That's huge for Alphabet.
Like, come over to my chart here. Google just gapped down.
You don't even see it, like the gap.
Right there.
Yeah, the algos don't care.
So whoops, that will fill up. Our chart, it's just part of our chart. That should have just it won't fill up until the minute's over, but there it goes. Nice downside play. Yours filled up? Okay, well, that's great that yours did and mine didn't. So, all right, so there's the move down. And I'm on the new version. I don't know if you are.
I think
okay, but Palantir not doing anything to that buy imbalance, and NVIDIA, wow. All right, man, regardless of the imbalance, this thing goes right up, pretty much to the penny there into the high of the day. That's a little strange there on NVIDIA on the imbalances. So this is what we're looking at right now. Amazon, a sell as well. Yeah, that's what's good so far here today. Amazon, big sell to the downside. So if you are looking to pick up some value plays here anywhere, and you think that a last minute spike down gives you that right there for $1. I've always actually thought about this. I should talk to Big Joe about this because why would you not take an option like you just made really quickly there, like $1, fake dollar basically, right? Yeah. It's fake because this is going to get paired off. So if you're looking to buy some Amazon into Friday expiration, you might have just got $1 off there and it will just make it back because this will pair off. So again, remember what tomorrow is Juneteenth, but we're not here. But Friday is the third Friday. That's witching, and it's the major one. It's the S&P rebalancing heading into the end of the month. So big time alert happening this Friday on the markets in general. So that's another reason for overwhelming amounts of imbalances. Adara has some news for us quickly. I did get out of all of that, by the way. All those trades, as soon as those imbalances hit, I just punched out of everything. So no damage done on all of that. And we can review that in a minute, but it's Adara now.
Here is Microsoft. Keep an eye on this one. Financial Times reporting that the company is prepared to walk away from talks with OpenAI. So that is not a very clear headline, but it might have to do with the fact that we had a couple days ago reports that the companies were in negotiations with one another. OpenAI, I guess, trying to break away a little bit from Microsoft, specifically its influence over OpenAI's possible acquisitions. Before we send you back to the guys, we're going to take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. We got a behind-the-scenes look at Trade the Pool. The dashboard tracks your progress in real time. Live stats, profit, and more. You can break down every trade, see your entry, exit, and how it played out on the chart. Check the certificates page for your full summary, achievements, and payouts. In this clip, that is Michael T. He's already earned over $75,000 in total payouts. Trade the Pool gives you the tools and the capital to go further. Ready to level up? Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code on screen. Back to you.
It's kind of cool that they show. I was just looking at all those trades there to see what they were trading, core weave, things like that. So I think it's very, very similar to the stuff that we're doing. Make sure you do scan that QR code right there and grab the 10% off. Plus, let them know you're coming from Trader TV Live. Yeah, look, man, I made a pick of Coinbase earlier on this year as one of the 3 stocks. It was Palantir, Coinbase, and the Dow got UNH'd, of course. But that's no excuse. What I was thinking about with Coinbase was like, I wanted to take Bitcoin. I mean, I really like Bitcoin, and I thought that if Bitcoin, was going to the upside, that Coinbase naturally, high tide lifts all ships, and the biggest of all ships is Coinbase. And, I was thinking that would help it out. Well, that's not accurate at all, because today Bitcoin's actually down and Coinbase goes up. So not thinking about other reasons why Coinbase might be getting a jump. Of course, we heard from Circle, we heard the Genius Act there, sort of justifying stable coins. So now we look for Amazon, we look for Walmart, we look for some more, again, just hearing Iran stuff again, but just hearing some more about Circle just makes, I guess that space more justified. USDC and so on and so forth, holding fort at $1, of course. And
all those just flipped.
Oh, did they all flip? I was just going to look.
They'll paired off at least.
Okay, here, let's go back. Forget about it. That's just crypto. Right now we don't need to worry too much about crypto. What Neil was saying was a lot of these names either see like NVIDIA was 7 million. It's now only 1 million. So you get the pair off right now. Amazon, most of these names are actually still sells. Amazon still sells. So not only do you get a $1 discount, now you're getting $2 discount on Amazon. I think it's worth buying, man. I'm pretty heavy in Amazon, but down 0.7. I actually like that for a trade right there. Buy some more AMZN. I mean, this move down, we were up at 215 and flat on the day, and now you're down 0.7 on AMZN. It doesn't take much to move these names other than imbalances. And yeah, wow, big move down there for many of these names, including Apple to the high side. So again, a false break higher on NVIDIA. I wouldn't use NVIDIA, whatever. It's more that Amazon, because Amazon's been working, right, on the daily. So we just need to break that 218. And I don't know, maybe it's not as strong as I thought there, Amazon. So probably some more bias in my voice.
But NVIDIA is going to close, if we knock on wood here, it's going to close over 145 this time.
Okay.
So 145 has been a problem for NVIDIA. It's been trying to break out. I was trying to play the breakout into it above 145, pretty much flat on the stock. Didn't really go the breakout, then it did on the dip, so whatever, flat trade. But we're going to close, knock on wood, unless something crazy happens in 3 minutes, above 145, but you still need to break out that next top. NVIDIA, this is a setup. I keep wanting to say tomorrow, on Friday, I suppose. It's almost perfect. 150 is probably going to have some ridiculously heavy action on it, so it might have trouble breaking it. But why not get some gravity on a 146 break into 150, as it's finally looking bullish over there on NVIDIA. One last one. I just realized I don't remember if I'm going to be set up, because I forgot that Sharif was going to be at that desk. So when I set it up early, I probably have to do it again.
I don't think Sharif did move anything. I hope not.
Palantir tagged 140 in the high of the day. And by the time I got back to it, it's right back underneath. Palantir is a big upweight because, well, because that. Anyways, it's a strong stock that in the indexes, its weighting is going up on Friday. It's supposed to be the biggest notional buy on Friday. It doesn't mean it'll be a big buy imbalance, but on Friday we were expecting some fireworks. I didn't see an imbalance. It just looks like it was just strong on its own going into 140. This was also setting up for a break above this price, kind of like NVIDIA. Adara?
More interesting updates in the Microsoft OpenAI relationship. We did have Financial Times reporting that Microsoft is apparently considering walking away from its talks with OpenAI, but that wouldn't necessarily mean the relationship ends, because in that case, if they do walk away, Microsoft would be able to rely on its existing commercial contracts to retain access to OpenAI's technology until 2030. So Microsoft might have a loophole which would allow it to get out of its talks with OpenAI, as reported by the Financial Times. Back to you.
Over there.
Yeah, that's okay. Neil's going to go over and get himself all set up. I tell you, he can just stay here until the close, because I'm going to be here a couple extra minutes.
Circle is going to break 200.
So Circle wins the bet.
Here comes 199, 199.50. Do it or don't do it. Now that I've looked at it, it's probably going to break it at 401 or 4 and 1 second, because you can't have fun things. So let's cheer it on here. Looks like Circle is going to win. I mean, there's almost no chance. It was always going to come down to the final candle, and the final candle is going to be green. And Apple, it never mattered what was going to happen to Apple. There's maybe 50,000 shares on the offer, which it'll chew through. Like, who cares? It's done 57 million shares. How much did they even come to market with this on this? It was less than 10 million. So there goes the 200 level, already pressing, maybe only a $0.50 to the upside. Circle, 34%. The most bullish story today is what's going on in the stable coins. It's Coinbase, it's Circle to the upside, it's Visa, MasterCard down to a certain extent, it's PayPal down as well. And I think you just got to get out of the credit card names for a little bit here as they kind of digest what's going on, which is there's a new kid on the block, and it's threatening everybody. So if you're a payment name, you're in trouble if you're traditional. I'm not calling them linear TV. They're not dying. They're not going away. They're just going to lose a little bit of relevance, unfortunately for them. So we got about 10 seconds to go in here. I want to see if it can hold above that $200 close. Must be options on this. I'm guessing there's some gravity. The closing bell brought to you by Origenics, OGEN, listed on the NYSE. So we can ring it now.
All right, good job on that one.
Almost.
Okay, so thank you everybody for watching. Thanks to Dara for ringing that bell. Just real quick, let's just see who is still here with us
201.
and do a quick little roll call if I can find my roll call thing. There it is right there. Let's just, whoa, hey, now. That's
that was
loud.
a little loud.
Yeah, shout out to everybody here right now. Oh, Adara was early on the bell. I think she was probably okay. Exactly on time. Yeah, exactly. So what's up? Charlie, he's present. What's up to Whips Away right now? Miss Jackson is here. Dallas is here. Anthony's here. Jarhead, Sebastian, thank you so much for being here. P-Mac is here. What's up, P-Mac? Zion Lala, man. Where's those tunes, man?
Zion.
God normally has those. Jarhead, we already talked about that.
Like
DJ, 2 a.m. Nice emojis right there. Douglas is still with us. Daryl, I hope you guys all had great times. Frank says, roll call. Yeah, you're right. You're in the right space for that. Finch Jane. Hey, what's up, Jane and Finch? Finch Jane's here. Why Not is here. Trader Buck, everybody, other Zinc. Thank you so much for watching the show and joining us here live one more time as we wait for Neil to get set up. The after show, some earnings plays today. I don't think there's too many going through there. Let me just quickly check that. As we say hi to Derek Thomas, the green one. TJ Morty is here. Tia, what's up, Tia? Here as well. Omar's here. Ebb and Flow. Ooh, I like that Ebb and Flow portfolio with the number ones. Yeah, no real earnings, man. SWBI, whatever that is. Dijon Mustard. You have a friend in Neil, that's for sure. Dijon Mustard, what's up there? What's up, Mr. Eggplant? You're here as well. Fun Bubble, Lasmel, all of you, man. So shout out to all of you that have joined us here at Trader TV Live. For everybody tomorrow, we're not in. It is Juneteenth, so, celebrate that. I hope I don't know, I guess it's a federal holiday. I'm not sure who has the day off or not there in the United States. Here in Canada, it's full-blown operations. So if you are a day trader, look for the Canadian markets, look for some of the European markets, look for Asian markets. It's the U.S. markets closed tomorrow for Juneteenth. So happy Juneteenth to everybody out there from your family here at Trader TV Live, right back to yours. All right, without any further ado, We got to see if we can convince Ramin to come out with us, but Joseph and myself, we're about 5 minutes away from sitting on a patio, although it's pretty rained out right now. So we'll be sitting inside. Do you play pool, Joe? Same thing. I used to play too. I don't think I'm very good anymore either. But all right, so maybe we'll see this guy with some pool, some billiards. We'll see everybody on Friday. Have a great night. Have a great day tomorrow. And we'll catch you Friday morning. From me to you, ciao.
Thank you very much, Sean. And we're going to have some fun, certainly with the campus meetup after we get the after-market show, the market recap. And there's a lot to get to. But you know what? One thing that stands out, and we've been trading for a very long time on a Fed day. You get some volatility. There were some moves, some good shorts in there, no questions asked. But the bigger moves today were when we had in the middle of the day, we got a headline, geopolitical headline. We had one during the afternoon as well. And then it is a story that just keeps on going and going and going. And this stock's probably jerking the shorts arond.
Oh,
Circle.
boy.
Well, I mean, I didn't say it all day long. At some point, I had to say that. So anyways, Circle, 37% up. Coinbase, 17% up. PayPal down. If you're looking at some of the payment processors, Visa 5% straight to the downside. MasterCard the same fate. The big story today, if you're looking for the trend, obviously was not really the Fed. It was crypto. It was specifically stable coins, and the bill's only halfway. It's not like it's still got to get through the house.
Yeah, it's not full yet, but I definitely don't think that's what's moving these. It has more to do with these two Coinbase catalysts.
Yeah,
The first of which
story.
is, I think, certainly the heavier blow for these traditional not fintech finance names. So basically, not only do we have on Friday reports that Amazon and Walmart are going to be entering into the stablecoin game, now we have Coinbase actually announcing a partnership with Nodal Clear for these stablecoin. I guess the stablecoin partnership there is going to be able basically to do, I guess, leveraging through stablecoins, the whole long spiel. But basically, that sends COIN to the upside. Then we get another pop to the upside when they announce Coinbase Payments in partnership with Shopify. So COIN, first time it takes out these traditional finance names. The second time it takes out fintechs. So then in the second story, we've got PayPal dropping. We have XYZ to the downside. So yeah, Coinbase really just destroying names here. But the other name that had a big intraday move on a sympathy play, or antipathy play probably better, was Uber. That thing was in a downtrend, in a little bear flag all day. Now, what happened to Uber? Well, we already had negative sentiment going into the day. That, of course, has to do with the fact that Wells Fargo issued this note saying that it believes Waymo is going to really chew up Uber and Lyft's market share in the coming years. And then, to add insult to injury, Waymo actually comes out on X and they said, yeah, we've actually applied for a taxi license in New York. So lots of hits here for UBER. And I think what's similar between this and what we saw with our finance friends is you already have a negative catalyst, negative sentiment in the industry. Then you get another story that's really nailing the coffin in a more concrete way. I think that happened to both Uber and Visa, MasterCard, et cetera. So interesting parallels there.
Yeah, and that Uber move on any other day, Dara. It's like on any other day.
That would have been all on watch.
Yeah, like it really would have been that for sure. I'm just gonna answer the question. I typed the answer in, but I might as well answer right here. Tyler Verse, kind of random, asking me if I enjoy Blackberry Crown. Not really my cup of tea, more of a bourbon or rum kind of person, but I'll try anything. I'm one of those try anything once. I have a rule for all things in life. It's like, don't knock something until you've tried it. Whether that comes to a trading strategy, whether that comes to like food, I tell my daughter with like a sport, it's just like, hey, give it a shot. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but don't tell me you don't like something if you never had it. You can just not have an opinion on it. That's my thing. That's my opinion, as we say. But Uber, going back to the market for a quick little second, I drew a wedge on Uber, which, unfortunately here, I'll redraw it for this chart. I'm kind of not happy about what we ended up seeing happen with Uber because I didn't know we were going to get that headline. And ultimately, you had this downward trend going on, and then you kind of had like this slight upward trend. You guys can see, I was looking for the break of the downtrend on Uber for next week, maybe even Friday, to go in long into the highs. And it turns out that it ends up breaking through the lows. And so looking a bit bearish. The good news for Uber is A, attention went elsewhere, so it kind of stopped falling in the middle of the day. And then B, it bounced off its 50-period moving average, which I think is going to become important on Friday. If Uber loses this 82 level, maybe we get some breakdown shorts out there. This is the type of day, Adara, with all the headlines we had and after the Fed, that it's a good time to observe how things ended up. Like what ended up strong when you saw everything flushing. AMD was weak. Overall, the market was relatively weak, finishing basically flat. NVIDIA managed to close above that 145 level as we're talking about, pretty close to the high of the day. I think that makes it look a little bit more bullish. Remember going into a Friday, because tomorrow's a holiday, so it's the second last trading day of the week here. It's going to be a big level, but it's also just I don't have the chain up in front of me right now, but you're going to have a ton of expirations on 145. Just a lot of interest in the 145. Possibly more at the 150 level if we can break above and then make that next gap up on NVIDIA. But I'm still going to lean favoring longs, just with being nimble around that 145 tomorrow makes a lot of sense. Another name which under the radar finished pretty strong was Palantir, up 1%, briefly breaking 140 at the end of the day as we were mentioning. So you throw that into the bucket of relative strength, and then you saw right at the close, as Sean was highlighting with some of those big cap names, you had Alphabet, Amazon. I mean, Apple was already going down, so I think it's a little bit different. But Alphabet with a huge drop, 1% down on a sell imbalance. So that's going to be one worth watching. Sometimes you find those levels and you can get a good bounce level. Amazon taking it a little bit on the chin as well with a big drop. Apple was maybe a little bit different from those two, I think, because it was already going down and it had bounced. So I'm still pretty bearish on Apple, but its reaction at the end of the day was just a little bit different. The daily chart still says sell on Apple, but at the end of the day, it was Google and Amazon that they decided to beat up on. Maybe a bit of a prelude to what we'll see on Friday. So just keep those things in mind. How we close on a day like today doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's certainly pretty significant here. And I think also we had, I think Omar BDL in the chat asking some questions here about CrowdStrike, and that's a name that was on watch here. This one is near, if not at, all-time highs. It's been really fascinating as of late. I'm going to pull up the daily chart here for Crowd. Yeah, so this is basically at all-time highs. Great look here for CrowdStrike. Double bottom off that key $300 level and push higher. Yeah, I mean, I think if we can break into this double top, and honestly, it kind of looks a little flat topish to me with these higher lows, into that out of the 490 area and into 500, I don't think it's a bad look at all. I'm going to switch to a 30 to give us kind of a near to far time frame. The 30 looks, again, still kind of the same idea. We pushed this is a pretty rough look here on June 3rd, I believe. That was, I think that was earnings. Or I'm not sure if that was earnings. Either way, bad look here on June 3rd. Then we kind of push high. No, that was earnings, post-market earnings. So, yeah, I think we're clearly going to push into that 494. I think the fact that we initially had this rejection of all-time highs on earnings is kind of concerning. But higher highs, higher lows, 30-minute and daily telling me the same thing. That's my look here on CRWD. I don't think it's a bad look either. I mean, the earnings themselves weren't that bad either. The guidance, I believe, was kind of an issue. So keep an eye on this one. That would be my take. Any other stocks people want to ask
about? Speaking of earnings, I'm not going to make a pun about this one because I can't. There's no pun that's tasteful. Smith & Wesson down 9% after they just flushed. Was up at about $11, broke through the lows. Yeah, I know, Fabian. I could have said that too. There's a lot of puns that I could make, but I'm not gonna.
Kill shot.
There it is. See, Adair made it. Someone made a kill shot. Okay, so the puns are coming through. Either way, it's not looking very good. I don't have the excuse me. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I was just double checking, but obviously they are out. And gapping. Okay, Dara, we got the numbers. Gapping under the 50 period, down double digits here on Smith & Wesson.
Double miss. Q4 adjusted earnings of 20 cents per share versus 23 cents expected. Sales 140.08 million versus 152.41 million expected. That is a double miss for Smith & Wesson. That thing, moving here, I guess, to the east side of the board in not a great way, sharply to the downside. Getting shot down pretty hard here if you were a long, unfortunately. But if you were a short, you were right on target at the shooting range. Let's talk here about Gorilla Technologies, because I know some people, Healing Pain Naturally was asking about this one. Came out here with earnings. I am not seeing how this compares to estimates, but I'm just reading off their report. $18.3 million in revenue. That is over 109% year-over-year growth. and their total cash reserves here at $33.8 million. Also, Dave Hates 808s is asking me in the chat about my hair routine. Very irrelevant to the market for one, but yeah, I mean, it's not really, I kind of do what I feel. I'm gonna be really honest with you. My hair really makes the decisions for me, and I don't really know how to answer that question. It keeps coming up here, so.
Ask the hardest working person on the show about their hair. No one ever asked me about my hair, when I'm kind of disappointed about that, to be honest with you.
How dare they?
Because, no, I mean, Adara, look, you know what, and I don't mean to get a little bit triggered here for a second. I put a lot of hard work into making this work in the mornings, everybody, okay? Like this, like see this? This doesn't just make itself, all right? So you all out here asking Adara, but no, I mean, come on, son. The hours that I sweat, I can't even make something up for what I have to do. So just imagine something.
Comb it. You could
comb it. Comb what, Adara?
I could run a comb through it.
I couldn't pick it. Back in the day, I used to have a fro.
Oh,
I've done that before.
Nice.
I've done that before. Let's get back to the market for a quick little second, because Gurr. No, this is a real move on Gurr. I was surprised that it's only an 8% short float. I was actually expecting a little bit bigger, because when I zoom out, anytime I see a chart like this, my gut says double-digit short float. So I'm a little surprised. Remember, those are always, they're delayed numbers. They can be a month old, but because there hasn't been anything crazy in the last month, I'm inclining to believe it is probably single digits, and we can trust that number. That said, you get through, it's like 23.5. Shorts are in a bit of trouble. You just bounced the 50-period moving average in a downtrend, which you could argue it broke the downtrend and then held the low. So broke the downtrend right around here. I can always eyeball these things. Sometimes I draw the trend line. I'm getting kind of lazy. But it broke the trend about here, held the 50-period, held the lows, bounced the 50-period before earnings, and now you're going to be higher and actually holding some of these gains. But that 23 level on Friday is going to be a big one to watch, everybody. So that's going to be a big one. Douglas Carlson, your sideburn grays are awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't like them. My daughter loves them. I have no idea why. So yeah, I'm one of those. I will absolutely, like, I'll never dye my hair. It'll never happen. I'm one of those people. I try to keep it real. But going back into the market, we talk a lot about, there's a lot of themes today there. We've talked a lot about the crypto moves. We talked about Uber for you guys. We're going over the chip names, went over the overall market. Now, obviously, the Fed's standing pat and not really changing much of anything. So we got some nice whipsaw action, mostly to the downside. But there are some other names that were moving around a little bit here. Now, if you looked at Nat Gas and the energy names, specifically, it feels like we only talk about nat gas in the aftermarket show. Natural gas on a little bit of a rally again. Everyone talks about oil when we get conflict, but you know, nat gas is breaking back out on its own as well. So you have it breaking back that 50-period moving average, breaking out of the bottom consolidation. This is starting to look a little bit better. You never want to ignore. We try not to ignore any phases of the market. And before I get to this super chat, I wanted to acknowledge. Look at MP. MP materials. Need them rare earth? Need them rare earths? Everybody needs them. Gotta have them. You can't make the, I forget, insert fighter plane here or basically anything important. And you're gonna need these. You're gonna need this. These are the only guys that are bringing it, not bringing it, but that are mining here in the United States. I say here, we're in Canada, but really in the United States. They're sold. They're gonna have to ramp up production. But for this name to be 23% short float, that's a dagger for the shorts, because it's hard to imagine that in the long term, the momentum is going to get out of this too fast. Today, kind of fell back most of the day, but still closing 5% to the upside and another fresh high. So MP Materials, super strong. Nick Dubs is in the chat. Adara LePay.
I love the wording of this super chat.
I feel like I should read it before, but I'm just too late now. Could you ask Neil his thoughts on Intel?
Like what? Why can't I have thoughts on Intel?
Looking at nice gap to 30, have long dated calls. Okay, so I mean, I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I'll keep it real with Intel. I'll keep it real with Intel. I feel this way when someone wants me to say something bullish. And maybe I'll pull up a weekly chart instead of a daily chart. When someone wants me to say something bullish about this, hopefully you know by now what I am going to say. That is the opportunity cost of being Intel. And look, I get it. I was a 25 buyer, and you would have heard me say I was a 25 buyer going back into 2023. So I was one of these people. And I remember, and I said this very specifically on the show, that while my outs were, I actually had some covered calls that got out when we broke out here, and then I got another chunk out when we lost the 50-period moving average on the weekly, and then I bag held the rest of it. And then I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to remember when I took it. I think I took it out somewhere around 23, jumped back in at 20 for a small amount that I'm just kind of holding. So I'm still in it. And overall, what I was saying when it happened was I made money on the trade, but I don't look at it as good because at the time, there were things that I probably liked better as holds that performed better than Intel over the last 2 years, right? So like that did work, but then even the amount that I just bag held, right? Like, you know, all amounts matter. You put a few G's into something else that was good and you're laughing. But that said, I think if you're taking a shot, you can do worse with taking a consolidated buy. You know, if it breaks the fresh low underneath 18 or 19, you have a natural stop. I would be more inclined to wait for it to actually break the 50 period. Like that's what I think I said that actually today already. I'll be looking for it to break above 23, close above the 50 period moving average. Then you can use the same stop, but then with the momentum and play it into the 200 period, which right now gives you like $10 from there for like $3 worth of risk. It's just not there yet for me. It's not, it's in the consolidation phase. Some people like sitting into the bottom. I usually like catching it after the breakout like I did with Snowflake. So that's, that would be my play. Unless either that or just buy the absolute low with a really, really tight stop. And that'd be maybe you could do that. So yeah, I see why it's enticing, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the monthly chart here. I'm going to be honest. I
tried.
I don't see much here. And yeah, no, thank you very much, Nick W, for the super chat. I was just joking about like we're all good here, and I get Niels definitely looks at Intel more than I do. Yeah, to me on the monthly, I see a massive double top at 67.50. I see a lower high at 51-ish, and then I see some consolidation. I'm going to be honest, it doesn't look super bullish for me at this point, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a clear read on this one. It's not something that immediately screams bullish to me, but something else that has not screamed bullish for a while is UNH. Scott Hunter asked me about UNH, and if we thought the Intel monthly chart looked bad, here's UNH's monthly chart, and this looks worse. So, I mean, like clear breakdown. What's the opposite of a flat bottom? This is like a flat top break in reverse or something here.
That's so
yeah,
bad.
that 430s level, pretty gross. Let's take a look at the daily chart here for Scott Hunter, because I think this nearer term is also really bad. I'm going to look at the 30-minute, because I want to be able to give a little bit more context here for UNH. This is a name that I like intraday sometimes. Okay, here we go. This is much better.
It got better.
So, I mean, not like it still looks bad, but I think in terms of me being able to give a position here, we have this 319 area. We peak at 319, and then we kind of, I'm going to be honest, we bear flag for the last few days. I think if we break below that 305, it looks pretty nasty, especially because 305 is kind of some of that previous resistance. I want to see what we do here at 300, which is also understandably a level of support. And then if we get into that 290 RIP, so that's my level. I think see what we do at 305, 300, 290, no coincidence, or maybe it is a coincidence. These are all like whole or $10 or $5 levels. But also, people are asking me about Credo Technology. But first, there's a super chat for you, Neil, from David Treziak, and I'm going to let you read it.
First of all, I want to shout out to the experienced share who caught the Monty Python reference. Those movies are hilarious. I'm trying to convince my wife and daughter that we should dress up as Halloween. We try to match like we did the night before Christmas last year, and then we did a Jedi theme 2 years ago. I want to do the Knights Who Say Knee, because I'm a huge fan of Monty Python. But I'm also a huge fan of you, Mr. Treziak, David. Thank you for the super chat. Sage on MP. We all like some MP materials. You are the same age as me, so you'll get this, Neil. Let your soul glow. Read the hair. Well, I don't have anything in common with Soul Glow. For anyone that doesn't know, please don't. The new movie that they made, the remake or the sequel for Coming to America, I mean, you can watch it, you might get some laughs, but the original is the original. And the funniest part of it to me was the Soul Glow commercial. So much so, and I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again, I spent a considerable amount of time trying to convince my wife that our entrance music at our wedding could be the crazy saxophone entrance for Soul Glow. You have to listen to it. You can check it out. It's the most obnoxious and ridiculous thing. Basically, one of the families got rich selling a Jerry Curl product in the movie, which I find hilarious. I feel like I got lucky because I'm old enough to know that movie, I'm not old enough to have ever had a Jerry Curl. I'm probably not by far, but because it's one of those things, like I had a cameo because I had a cameo. I did the flat top, I did all that kind of stuff. If I was born 10 years earlier, I'd have had a Jerry Curl just like everybody else did. That's just how it is. KJ, is that Neil on the left when he was younger? Oddly enough, Eric LaSalle looks more like my brother than me. It's weird. Like my brother and I, we kind of look alike, but like he's taller and looks more like Eric LaSalle than I do. So you can make all your judgments about that pretty easily. That's why he's very popular. Yes, KK was kind of like Kid and Play, not quite as high, but I did do that in junior high. House Party was a fantastic movie. I want to jump back into the market here because while Smith & Wesson might have taken it on the chin a little bit here, it's worth pointing out that Circle has not actually stopped. The market may be closed, but the breakout continues. Now 39% to the upside and breaking another high. 207 is an absolute beast. You can't say enough about this. Coinbase had a good day too, but it really stopped and it couldn't really get past that 300. 17% is nothing to sneeze at. Circle is squeezing and just breaking backs right now because they didn't issue a ton of shares anyways in the IPO, and now it's broken out so far. Any hedge funds initiating short positions have probably already been blown out, and then other ones are trying, and then they're probably going to get blown out too. And go Bills, I have to answer in the negative here. No longer have Buffalo Bills season tickets. Sean and I did have. We had our own trading floor. The first year we started making money, we got Leaf season tickets. That lasted about a year. We had the worst seats possible, and it's like way more than you even want to spend for those. We got Bills season tickets. I think we had them for 5 or 6 years. And then it's just family stuff. It was before my daughter was born, but family stuff for Sean and the other guy we had it with just got to the point where, you just didn't want to go down and take a whole day on Sunday because you want to do family stuff. But, I don't know if I'd ever do it again, but I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan. It was a lot of fun getting down to, I say Ralph Wilson because I say Ralph Wilson Stadium. I love down there in Buffalo. Great team. It's my team. I'll be a Bills fan forever, but not anymore. But I can tell you, if you could probably afford some Bills tickets or Bills season tickets if you were a buyer of any of these crypto names. I want to acknowledge another name that ran today on that news that we maybe didn't get to because of where it is on the chart. Dara, Robinhood, all to the world looked like it was doing absolutely nothing all morning and then did one of the cleanest even dollar breaks that you're going to see. Opening range high, $76. This is the 76 break. Does not look back. The pullback goes to 76 and a quarter, and then it just trends higher. Now, I would argue most trailing stop strategies probably get you out before it makes a break, especially there's almost no way you're holding it past somewhere in this breakdown from 78 to 77. You're probably getting out. But that was a clean break. It was on theme, in play. Sometimes when you're looking to join a trend, there might be something in the space that hasn't gone as much yet that you can join into. And I think when we saw that with Circle, I'm mad at myself that I didn't go over to Robinhood as a lag play and catch a clean trade.
Yeah, I will say for Circle, I think I'm definitely going to be asking for some shorts for that on Friday because in case that Circle ends up making a bit of a straight line to the downside. Now, but doesn't mean I'm going to use them. Sometimes you want the option. So, Credo, nice little rounded bottom here. The 30-minute Tyler Smith was asking about CRDO. I didn't see a catalyst on it today. That's not an insane short float, 6.5%. So notable, but nothing crazy. Great look on the 30-minute. Let's take a look at the daily for CRDO. Okay. This is awesome. So we had this crazy bounce here. That would be the Liberation Day low at $28. We're almost at all-time highs. I don't know what else to say other than V-shaped recovery. I think it looks great. I think, as long as you've got your stops and you're, risking appropriately, I honestly think if you're already in this, not a bad look, not advice, just my take on the chart. Weekly, same thing. This looks crazy. I like how this looks here. Especially, if you're getting into it, this seems like a crazy thing to get into now. But if you're already in it,
wow.
Congrats to you. That's an awesome look. Los Pollos Hermanos saying life's a circle, no end in sight. I like that one. It reminds me of that. I don't know if anyone's seen the first season of True Detective when Matthew McConaughey is like, time is a flat circle. So yeah, shout out to one of the weirdest performances in TV history. Matthew McConaughey as Rust Cole. What are the people asking about here? Yeah, Casper was saying, good luck with that. Circle will blow you out. I wouldn't do that. I mean, yeah, like if you got to stop in, I don't think there's anything wrong with trying a short on the stock if you think it makes sense, right? So for example, today, I tried to short in Coinbase. I waited for it to make the first red 15-minute candle. I had a solid impetus. Was I wrong? Yes, but I risked appropriately, so there wasn't anything crazy, right? Like I think in those situations where things like go crazy, I think if something sets up and you like it and you legitimately think it's a trade that's worth trying, you can be wrong about that, but if you think it's a trade worth trying and you've risked appropriately, I really don't think there's anything wrong with making the attempt. And that's my take, and I know people definitely have different opinions, and that's completely fine, but that's my take, and that's where I stand in any situation like that, including the situation on Circle.
Well, can I give one example? Because I'll just quickly throw this up. And by the way, I'm like 99% sure, like Obi paid for locates today. I don't think he touched that to the short side. As a day trader, real trading, we get the locates relatively cheap. So having them out there in case something really ridiculously absurd and an obvious setup happens, maybe that didn't happen today, you can still take it. But you could have had, when it broke out here, like this breakout from 160, you could look at this trend break, which gave you 50 to 70 cents worth of risk to make about $2.50 to $3. The thing about it is that's where your style of trade needs to not always try to hit the home run on that one, as we can see Obi still working because that's what he does. He's at his 9 monitor setup. You can see the bun. There, and the bun is right. My bad, 8 monitor setup. He's right. He's always working hard looking at charts. Maybe he's looking at Circle. But there were chances to get maybe some sniper trades in there that for an active day trader work. But that's about it.
Wait, what?
You don't want to do too much more than just that. What just happened?
Oh, boy.
What? Huh? You can smell it. Anyways, so it's 4:29, everybody. I'm just
4:20.
I have like a honest filter problem. Yeah, it's just look, man. I keep it real. Sometimes a little too obviously real. Everybody, we're gonna have some fun. We're having the campus meetup today after, so we're gonna be joining some traders from Real Trading. Sean, the crew, they're already over there. We're gonna meet them in a couple of minutes. But you know what? We still had a fun day of trade. We're gonna get into some roll call here as well, for sure. But remember, if you want to get into the roll call, because we got a fun chat and a great community, all the action. We're live, giving you real-time trading, as we always do during the Fed, during anything, during all of this chaos, and doing our honest best. Just try to keep real with you guys and show you the market and show you our trades and our perspective, and hope everyone can gain from that. So if you want to join the community and grow the community, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and give a big shout out to everybody inside our community, all the people that contribute, and of course to Fabian, Ramin, Andre, valuable members of our team, whether it's switching the show or the socials. The Bash brothers do a great job every single day. My man Sean, Brandon was off today feeling ill, but we have Adara on the desk kicking butt, giving you guys the news all day long. So give them a big shout out, get your name in the chat, hit that subscribe, and let's get some roll call on.
Yeah, I want to thank Fabian for making these awesome memes. I just realized there's a Trump meme, too. I did it to all of us, so thank you, Fabian. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Sharif. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Obi. Thank you, Ramin. Thank you, Andre. I didn't do this in order. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you to Arun in the chat. Sorry I didn't have a chance to go over the clack chart, but it looks really good on the weekly. And I think if this topping tail in the weekly forms, I think that's a bad look, but generally I think it looks good. Daryl Flinch, Michael DCA, DJ 2AM, Fresky Supreme, Grav, Mr. Briggs, Los Pollos Hermanos, Rowboat, Leo Martinez, 215 Sugar Free, Derek Thompson, The Roaring Griffin, Tyler Smith, Michael DeRider. We've got Bilbo, Bagholder, Joseph Brown, Marlon, Christmas, J-Do, Scott Tomlinson, Nephew with a capital P, Susie Fox, Rauman, Michael Peter Ryder, again, Heartbroken Biker. We've got Scott Tomlinson saying, everybody go it all in UNH. LOL. Shout out to that. Shout out to Go Bill. Shout out to Reloge. Shout out to Sebastian Taveros, Christmas, DJ 2AM, Marcus Stevenson Johnson. We've got TH. We've got Dijon Mustard. We have Arun. We've got Marlon B. We've got Stojum 17. And we'll end with Derek Thompson. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you not tomorrow, but on Friday. Have a happy and restful Juneteenth.
Oh, good one. Remind everybody that, hey, we always end the show saying the fun part is we get to do it again in the market tomorrow, but we don't, because happy Juneteenth, everybody. I think it's an important holiday, but as long as you enjoy it with family and understand that at the end of the day, the world is getting better. It never seems like it. Doesn't always seem like it when you listen to the news, but lives are getting better. We live in a better world than our parents lived in, and as long as that keeps on happening, then we should all be thankful for that. So I think you can always celebrate a holiday, but have fun, rest up. It is triple witching, S&P rebalancing, mid-year rebalancing on Friday. It is a monster day on Friday. And then on top of that, we just had the Fed, and we have a lot going on in the crypto space. So rest up. We'll see you Friday morning. We're Trader TV Live. Have a good one.
Bye.
I pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button.